You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. Smitty is live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Live whenever news breaks. Live when you need start bench help. Live when you need me. I come a-callin'. I am Captain Save an Owner, and I'm here to help save your season. So let's get right to the 2023 Week 2 Fantasy Football Start Bench Advice. And it kind of starts off with all of these guys on screen here, as well as some other players we'll get into. Avin was first in the building tonight and is going to get a standing ovation for having the first comment of the night. Avin, appreciate you.
Mashed potatoes!
Avin, I can't thank you enough. Sam, Keaton, Robert, all of you fine people. Double DW's in the building. DW is in the freaking building.
Mashed potatoes!
You know what that means. There's probably a super chat or two. I'm sorry, a what would you say? A freaking YouTube membership on the way. I was spacing out there for a second. YouTube membership. Let me get my stream up so I can actually watch the YouTube exclusive membership stuff come through, because I can't see that unless I have this up. And if DW is here, we know that we're going to be getting some of those. Appreciate you all coming in. And let's see here. Let me lower the volume down on that bad boy. All right, so guys, on screen, I'm watching this Colorado State game, by the way. It's coming down to the wire here. Colorado snapping the football. Sanders. Oh, that was 1st and 10. Sanders threw a missile into the end zone. That would have been amazing. DW, appreciate you being here, pal. You are the man. So, guys, let's start off with this. There are a couple. DW dropping 50 right off the bat. DW dropping 50 gifted memberships right off of the bat. Unbelievable, DW. Unbelievable. We also got a super chat coming in strong. First $5 hauler of the night. First super chat of the night coming in from Brofist Brad. Fasten your seatbelts. Prepare for takeoff. Guys, Gibbs, Fields, Flowers, Debo, and probably ETN, DJ Moore, Walker, Pacheco are all going to the moon in week number 2. But specifically these 4 guys. Not necessarily suggesting that some of you may or may not be considering sitting them, but you'd be surprised at how many people. DW's got 50 of these coming in. I'm going to mute this just for the moment because 48 more people's names going across screen, and it's amazing, and I can't thank DW enough. But this right here, ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at a player that might arguably be top 5 to 7 in week number 2. Maybe it takes a week or 2 more. I'm not naive. I'm not an idiot. I know that it's going to be something where he either pops off right away or he takes another week or 2. But if he stays healthy, and knock on wood, make sure, protect this man at all costs. If he stays healthy He's top 5 running back bound. And you heard it here first from your boy. So many people are jumping on this train left and right. I don't have time to watch these Mickey Mouse fantasy shows outside of this community. I'm busy enough. People are like, "Hey, Smitty, do you ever see?" No, I don't. I don't have time. Even if I wanted to, I don't have time. So I get screenshots or little clips sent to me from people from time to time that I don't even really have time to watch. Anyway. But I sometimes take a glimpse, and I clicked on one of them. Everybody is all over Gibbs now. Oh, he's going to be so good. He's absolutely phenomenal. Someone sent me a clip, I think it was from the CBS guys, and a guy was saying, I don't know if I would take Monty over Gibbs, and I think Monty's going to be better, and I just think Gibbs is risky. And then the next minute, coming out of week 1, heading into week 2, Gibbs is going to be phenomenal, top 5 to 10 running. It's crazy. I don't know if I have CBS or not, so I take back that was CBS or not. I don't remember. But goodness gracious, man, everybody jumping on the Gibbs train now. But can I tell you something? Can I tell you a little itty-bitty secret? There are still more Gibbs doubters than there should be, an uncomfortable amount of Gibbs doubters out there that make this a still feasible trade for you if you were to package together a very creative Jahmyr Gibbs trade offer to somebody that maybe is struggling. They have Jahmyr Gibbs, but they're 0-1 and they've got JT. They're 0-1 and they have Alvin Kamara. They're 0-1 and they're in shambles. They thought they had their quarterback on point. They went risky Dak, and they don't like it at all. We need to sit here. We need to sit here and try and devise a plan to go after Jahmyr Gibbs. If you think you can get him now, this is your last stop, the last chance opportunity to go get this man before he becomes a top 5 running back, top 5 to 7 running back in everyone's mind. Even if he doesn't necessarily produce top 5 to 7 running back numbers in week number 2, he will show flashes of it once again like he did in week 1. Some people ran their mouth coming out of week 1 saying things like, Smitty, he's going to be too much of a sharing situation. Remember, some of the worst comments of the year came right after the game. Look at this comment right here.
And off he goes to the planet.
And I don't know if anybody's noticed, but he hasn't been around since. He hasn't been around since his ridiculous comment here. This ridiculous comment here. Oh, God. Colorado just scored a touchdown. All right. Wow. Colorado just scored a touchdown. It is 34-28. We haven't seen him. What's his face? Okafor. We haven't seen Okafor since he made that ridiculous comment.
And off he goes to the planet known as Uranus.
Matt, is Matt still here? Gibbs is trash. I believe this was either at halftime or this was potentially after the game. Matt, maybe you want to clarify in your ridiculous comment here. I haven't seen Matt. Maybe he's been here. I don't recognize seeing Matt since he made this trash comment, and I haven't seen Okafor since he made this comment. Gibbs is cooked. Can either of you please stand up if you're here right now? Can you please raise your hand after your ridiculous comments? Nothing's happened. Gibbs has not played since that moment in time. And yet there are people out there that think this is a crowded situation. It's not going to be good for Gibbs. They're going to keep rotating. They're going to screw this up. Where's Okafor? Okafor makes that statement and vanishes. Where's Garrett? Garrett, no offense, Garrett. I'm going to give Garrett his props, first of all. Garrett is the highest super chatter of the year. Garrett dropped a $600 wad in one single show in 2023. We have yet to have somebody top him off, and anybody that does will get the emoji, their own emoji that we have. They'll take over Garrett's emoji. But I want to give Garrett his props and say that Garrett is the highest super chatter of the year with a $600 wad. But this guy, I believe it was Garrett, right? It was Garrett, right? Am I mistaking Garrett for? I think it was Garrett, Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas is going to be better than Olave. Olave's trash. Olave's not going to be the number one wide receiver. And then now all of a sudden Olave gets banged up. Looks like he's going to be slow moving in the first half. Everybody came for Olave's neck, and Olave came out and balled out at the end of the game and ended up being a monster. Where's Garrett at? I think that's Garrett. They vanish. They come in strong. They talk about it. Remember Steven? J.K. Dobbins, he's going to be the best. Where's Steven? Anytime someone comes in and lays down some serious predictions and they tell me I'm going to pay and I'm going to be sorry and everybody's going to laugh at me, where's Steven? Steven, are you out there? Can you stand up? Steven telling me that I'm so off base not having J.K. Dobbins as a top 5 to 10 breakout running back. I'm missing the boat. J.K. Dobbins, where is he now? Steven, where are you? Fields haters are going to leave this stream. Gibbs haters are going to leave this stream as quickly as they showed up. And it all begins in week 2. People freaking out. Worried Williams, petrified Peters, trying to get rid of this guy, Justin Fields, trying to throw shade on his name after 1 week of football, trying to say, Smitty, are we starting Fields or are we going with some quarterback 7 or 8 overall? People not respecting the value this guy's going to soon have. You can have fun now. You can laugh at us and say we're off base and that Fields is going to be cheeks all you want. Just wait. Fields' unleashing happens in week 2, and Gibbs becomes a top 5 to 7 running back heading into week number 3. Let's go. Deebo Samuel, I know Ayuk is looking really, really good and really strong, but Deebo Samuel is definitely a player I think that's going to rotate with Ayuk at times. And I think coming out of week number 2, you will not be able to get Deebo Samuel for the price tag that is held over his head right now, which is probably, I would say probably top of round 5 at the earliest late round 4, top of round 5 equivalent if you're drafting today, trade value. And so that means he could be your 5th player if you wanted. I've seen some people trade Puka Nacua for Deebo Samuel. Puka Nacua. I've seen people take Puka Nacua and Tyler Algier and trade them both for Jahmyr Gibbs. And you may laugh at that and you may not see that, but don't act like your league hasn't had somebody go out there and trade someone and make everybody in the entire league scratch their head, throw their arms up, call for a veto, call for collusion. Don't act like your league's perfect. Every league has that bozo that makes that stupid trade once a year. If you come in and say nobody's doing that, Smitty. I reached for Gibbs. Attaboy, Sven. Attaboy. Smitty, I have a dumb question. Wait. Live again tomorrow for all the games like you did. No, I'm not going to be live during all the games. I'll be live beforehand, an hour before kickoff. The DW, thanks again for dropping that 50 watt on screen. We got some super chats piling in. Dobbs or Pickens. Probably Dobbs this week. I forget where I was going with this. All I was going to say is coming out of week number 2, they're going to be Puka Nacua. Colorado State score. Wow, what a game. What a game this is. 34-35 in overtime. Colorado State's 0-1. Colorado's 2-0. Deion Sanders and the Sanders boys are up by 1 point here. And they're kicking a field goal, right? Unbelievable. Or going for the extra point. Where are we at here? Smitty, Godwin, or Dotson? Probably Dotson, but that's a tough matchup. It depends on who's covering who, though, in that game. Puka Nacua and Algier, I've seen get the world. I've seen someone trade Puka Nacua for Deebo. I've seen somebody trade Puka Nacua for someone as low down as Damian Pierce and somebody as high up as Kenneth Walker. I've seen somebody trade Tyler Algier for Deebo Samuel. Tyler Algier for DeAndre Swift. We had that guy come in here yesterday and he tried to take it back. What was his name? And pretend like it didn't happen. I was just trolling after he said it for a while. He traded DeAndre Swift for Puka Nacua. And he says he was trolling after. I don't believe him. I think he actually did that trade. People are wilding on Puka Nacua. Is Puka Nacua bad? No. Who here is saying Puka Nacua is bad? Who here is saying Puka Nacua can't be a wide receiver 3-4 in fantasy? Nobody. But why are people ranking Puka Nacua over Garrett Wilson right now? And why is this mad disrespect of Garrett Wilson being allowed in fantasy football spaces? I have no idea. And I'm hearing this, getting screenshots and DMs from people left and right. Again, I can't watch it. I have to trust that people are telling me the truth. But because 2 different, 3 different, 4 different people are sending me the same screenshot, I know is probably pretty accurate. There are people running away from Garrett Wilson and unfortunately brainwashing all of you into thinking there's high risk of Garrett Wilson being a even high-end wide receiver 2. So what does that leave me with? So many people coming to me and saying, Smitty, should I get rid of Garrett Wilson for a player that's getting drafted if we're drafting today in the 4th or 5th round? And I have to shake myself and say, am I dreaming? What world do I live in where, yes, his quarterback went down. He's no longer wide receiver 3 to 5 like he was before the season kicked off and before Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles tendon. He was 3 to 5 for me. He was quietly 3 to 5. And everyone in here loved him like he was their own brother. And now because he loses his quarterback, which we have to acknowledge, and it's so funny when people say, Smitty, I know you like Garrett Wilson, but what? But what? You don't think I know that Aaron Rodgers went down? I don't need you to fantasy explain me when you try and convince me why you might be doubting Garrett Wilson. I'm acknowledging that Garrett Wilson takes a little bit of a dip. I'm acknowledging that Garrett Wilson drops off. And here's another one. If people don't believe me about this Puka Nacua nonsense that's going on right now, again, not saying he's not a wide receiver 3-4, not saying you can't use him as your wide receiver 3 even right now if you want to go crafty style, although he's going to get tore up by the Niners this week, but neither here nor there. Look at this, Matt, I did Puka and Kelly and got ETN. For some crazy reason, Joshua Kelly, Tyler Algier, 2 backup running backs that are getting work right now, and Puka Nacua, these 3 players. I can only imagine if you had the entire gem trio on your fist right now, what you could get, what you could trade that in and get if you had all 3 of them together. The trio, the 3 amigos. If you could trade Puka Nacua, Joshua Kelly, and Tyler Algier, all for 1 player, I bet you could reach for Christian McCaffrey in some of your leagues. This is absolute ridiculous stuff that I'm seeing. Kelly and Puka for ETN, who had a good game, by the way, and should have an absolute solid game in week number 2. ETN to the moon. ETN in a shootout. ETN in a shootout that will probably have some weather, yeah, but I don't know that there'll be much wind. We'll have to play that by ear. But ETN should get a lot of work through the passing game, also get a lot of draw plays, and this guy should have over 100 total yards and a nice shot at a score. I'm seeing people left and right steal Breece Hall away and steal away Garrett Wilson because they're playing Dallas in week number 2, and people are so worried about 1 week that they're freaking out. Garrett Wilson doesn't have Aaron Rodgers, no Shiat. And we're playing that by ear too in some context, but we cannot knee-jerk react and push Garrett Wilson down into the wide receiver 25 range like everybody's trying to treat him. Do I trade Garrett Wilson for Terry McLaurin, Smitty? Why in the hell would you do that? Why? Colorado scores again. Touchdown, Colorado. This game is insane. I was trying to watch this game, which is why I'm a little late, but at some point, I'm like, I got to go live and just watch it out of the corner of my eye here. 41-35, extra point incoming, second OT. This is an unbelievable game right here. Deion Sanders and his sons going up against Colorado State in the biggest trash talk game we've seen in some time, with a bunch of amazing dynamics at play. Celebrities everywhere at this game because there's so much trash talk and hype behind Deion Sanders and his 2 sons on his team, his starting quarterback, who looks phenomenal, by the way. His son, hold on, snap. Going for 2. There it is. 43-35. Unbelievable. 43-35 in second OT. Unreal game. This is probably one of the best college football games I've seen in a long time, ladies and gentlemen. 43-35. What a comeback. Sanders looks absolutely amazing. This kid's got a bright future, I think. And it'll be fun to watch where he goes. Man, Deion hugging his son. Man, Deion's sons are unbelievably talented. DW, thanks again for that $50 wad on screen. This is phenomenal to watch, and I'm so happy that all of you were in here. 344 of you in here. Punch that thumb up button. We only have 91 thumbs up. I'm grateful for the 346 eyeballs, but we could use a couple more thumbs up. 91, that's light work. We can do better than that. Deebo Samuel, so where was I? Puka Nacua, trade him away. Trade him away now, especially before this Niner matchup, and he's injured right now. He was given 7,000 targets in week 1 because Stafford laser locks on him. Then we got word today that Stetson Bennett has been placed on the NFI list and will not play football. Stetson Bennett is removed from the roster for personal, non-football related situation. And Stetson Bennett, the savior on the bench if Stafford goes down, is now out of the picture. So there's no safeguard at all there for not if, but when Matthew Stafford gets hurt. I hate to say that. I'm not trying to hate on Stafford. I'm not trying to belittle what he did in week number 1 because he did look good. Stafford did bring it. Let's give Stafford his flowers, quite honestly. But we're talking about a player that has the likelihood of staying healthy as J.K. Dobbins had. J.K. Dobbins' likelihood of staying healthy for half a season was probably at best equal to Odell Beckham Jr.'s. And Stafford's in that same ballpark. And so once Stafford goes down, Cooper Kupp, or whether it's Puka Nacua, whether it's Tutu Atwell, whether it's Kupp, Tutu, or Puka. Blue 32. It's just amazing. Stafford. Blue 32. Puka. Tutu. On 3. Whoever's going nuts at the time, whether it's Puka or Tutu or Kupp, that opportunity share goes down so much. Mark this down. Ronnie Bell will be explosive in 3 years. Of course he will. He looks really, really good as long as the Niners use him right. The problem is your Niners don't know how to use certain talent until later. Brandon Ayuk doghoused him for a while. This is a tough wide receiver room and team to climb up the way that Shanahan runs that operation. Anyway, Fields buy low. Use Puka to buy low on Fields. Like I throw Puka in with my quarterback 7, 8, 9, whatever quarterback territory you're at in there, and you can go buy Fields low. Throw in Puka. Throw in Algier. You know, I'd even be tempted if I own Bijan Robinson to exploit the oversaturated market space that is holding this fake paper tiger value on Tyler Algier. I would sacrifice my cuff to capitalize on moving on from Algier to go get a Deebo Samuel, even if I've got to throw in a Puka Nacua. It's crazy. This opportunity will be gone. Colorado State touchdown. This game, bro. This game's crazy. Flag on the play. I would totally capitalize on Algier even if I own Bijan. To not do it is reckless. In fact, that might be the message of the night. To not capitalize on trading Tyler Algier, I don't care if you own Bijan, is borderline recklessness because you can go out and get the world. Flowers is going to ball. Do people not realize how good Zay Flowers is? Trade Puka Nacua for Zay Flowers straight up right now. And especially if you're in Dynasty, but even in redraft, Zay Flowers will have a better season than Puka Nacua. Zay Flowers is probably going to have a low-end wide receiver 2 season at the end of it all. At the end of the day, Zay Flowers is one of the best wide receiver 3s in fantasy football because he's going to play like a wide receiver 2. Flag on the play, ball brought back to about the 18-yard line, Colorado State. Batted football, third and goal. Wow, Colorado is inching toward winning this game that they shouldn't have won. Their defense has been stepping it up, but their defense has been pretty mid all game long. And you got to say Colorado State, their defense was giving up a lot too. But what a game. The recruiting reach that Deion Sanders is going to have. Good for Deion. The recruiting reach he's going to have at Colorado after this game is going to be insane. I wonder if somebody big transfers. I don't even know what they're doing. This whole stadium is going nuts. The celebrities are out tonight. This game is absolutely unbelievable. Probably one of the best college football games I've ever seen. There's 25 seconds left in the second OT. Colorado State has the ball, third and goal on like the 18-yard line, so they've got a ways to go. They've got 2 plays to punch it in. Then they got to go for the 2-point conversion to tie. This is an unbelievable game. 357 of you in here. Punch that thumb up button. Appreciate you being here. Go get Zay Flowers before it's too late. Go get ETN before it's too late. Go get DJ Moore and Fields together specifically before it's too late. Week 2, they're going to show up. Pacheco's going to show up in week number 2. I think Pacheco is a very, very undervalued player right now. And I think that the Chiefs are going to get back to business in balance, and they're going to be throwing and passing this football to this man right here. Walker was, I believe, snap share-wise, one of the leading, if not like the top back in football in terms of snap percentage and you know the fact that his numbers didn't really match it was, wow, this Colorado Stadium's going nuts. The numbers just weren't really there. And I think anybody that watched the game was impressed. A thorough job he did. Kenneth Walker, smooth, efficient. Unfortunately, would get wrapped up by 3 or 4 defenders the moment he touched the football, which is why last year there were some inefficiency stats that were very unfair. Fourth and goal. Oh, he's hobbled. 4th and goal, last play. This is unbelievable. I'm very, very happy for Deion Sanders. I hope he pulls this off. What a game. What an amazing game. Javonte or Pacheco. This week, go Pacheco. Pittman or James Cook. Probably, I would say James Cook by a hair, but those are close. I'm going to get to the Super Chats here just right after this game. Appreciate you all being here. 353 of you in here. 143 thumbs up, so punch that thumb up button. Here we go. Final play. 4th and goal. 1 second left. What did they do? They called a timeout, right? Okay. I was like, did they let the time expire? There's no time right now. It's possessions, but there was 2 seconds left in the game because that was the final play. 25 seconds left in this game. Really, last play. JSN or Pickens? Give me JSN this week. Pickens or Breece Hall? I go back and forth on that one. I've been saying Pickens all week, barely, but I think I'm going to switch to Breece Hall, man. I don't think I can sit Breece Hall. I don't think I could live with myself if I'm watching Breece Hall go nuts. Must be the only one that finds Prime's demeanor off-putting. I don't know. Sure, bro. I guess we're one of the only ones. I like him, bro. Okay, final play. 4th and goal. Missile into the end zone. Interception. Game over. Colorado wins. Deion Sanders looking absolutely like a boss right now. Wow. Good for Deion, man. I'm so happy for him. His foot's bothering him. This guy's an absolute monster. Deion Sanders. What an awesome coach. What a nice spike of interest he's injected into college football too. Deion Sanders he's entertaining. He's caused a lot of controversy. It's been fun to watch. He's motivating to his team. His team loves him. He's a player's coach, and his recruiting and all the celebrity factor. The mob is rushing the field. I haven't seen something like this since like a national championship. The field is getting mobbed right now. Everybody's running onto the field. This is absolutely crazy. Good for Colorado. Good for Deion Sanders. Good for Deion. Good for Deion. Unbelievable game. All right, let's get to these super chats and start helping you guys out. Fields, go get them. Start them live. DJ Moore, get him. Start him live. Debo, Gibbs is going to be a top 5 running back. I congratulate all of you ahead of time. Let's get to these super chats, ladies and gentlemen. Brofist Brad dropping the first super chat of the night. Brofist says, fasten your seatbelts, prepare for takeoff. Thank you again for your super chat. That boy dropping a $5 hauler. I have Amon Gibbs starting already as a duo with Andrews as my starting tight end. Flex, Flowers, Brees, or Pickens. I think you know the answer to this, to be honest, bro. I know Brees is a tough sit, but you've got a guy that is one of my starts of the week right here in Flowers. So, pretty easy call, bro. Flowers, I don't think people realize how good Zay Flowers is going to be. And I started to say that, and then I sidetracked myself, and I'm sorry about that. But Zay Flowers is a route running artist. Zay Flowers has footwork and speed you cannot measure, you cannot teach. And given the fact that he was doing so much like short yardage work, and he did as well as he did with Lamar playing like crap, imagine what happens when he's not playing like crap, when Lamar is not playing like crap. Imagine what happens when Zay gets all these long thrown footballs down the field on top of all the short yardage work that he got. Not to mention, he's going to do a mix of that every single game. Zay Flowers is a rising star. Zay Flowers quite arguably could be the number one, not only rookie wide receiver from 2023, he could be one of the top rookie wide receivers, or the top wide receivers from both the sophomore and rookie classes heading into next year. Like this class and the class before it. Like he could be in that top 3 or 4 or 5. Absolutely. Like the Moon Men, we could take Zay Flowers, who, by the way, is a mid-season monster. We could see Zay Flowers, and mid-season monster means they will be a Moon Man by some point during the season. So Zay Flowers it doesn't mean at mid-season, it just means by mid-season. He'll be a mid-season monster, a Moon Man material player, playing at the capacity of a Moon Man by probably the end of this week. This is a monster right here. This is a guy that if you don't have and you have the opportunity to go get in a trade, you will be sitting on a player that right now feels like a borderline wide receiver 3, right? You got him in your wide receiver 3 spot. I know that because I'm getting question after question about, hey, do I start Flowers or do I start this guy? Do I start Flowers or do I start this wide receiver 3? Next week, coming into week number 3, I will no longer be getting Zay Flowers questions because he will move the second wide receiver like a Keenan Allen or whoever that is down to the wide receiver 3 spot. And you'll be asking me next week, do I sit Keenan Allen or Pickens, Keenan Allen or Dotson? And I'm going to say, really? And you're going to go, Smitty, Zay Flowers is in my wide receiver 2 spot. And I'm going to say, oh, yeah. That makes a lot of sense now, Bob. That makes a lot of sense now. So they answer that question pretty thoroughly there. Jack with the super chat, start London, Kelly, or Pickens. You got to go Kelly. He's going to get the volume with Austin Eckler banged up. The concern. Look, there are some players that are injured that we love too. Let's not act like I can pat myself on the back. I've missed a ton so far this year. We always miss stuff. That's the nature of this game. But we've been pretty on point with the stay-away players. From JT to Cup to J.K. Dobbins, we've been really, really on point. Amari Cooper, we've literally hit about, I'd say, 90% of the stay-away players to a T. It's been absolutely crazy. Eckler, and Eckler could prove to come back and be an absolute baller, and so could Kupp. And to be honest with you, JT was one of my biggest avoids, but I'm telling people to go get JT right now. And occasionally a casual Caleb comes in here and says, Smitty, you're such a flip-flopper. I'm not a flip-flopper, Bob. I'm a adjust and adapt specialist. That is my specialty. I got my master's in adjusting and adapting, Bob, and it is time to adjust and adapt. Once once Jonathan Taylor hits his all-time low, rock bottom, then we take a look at him. We dust him off and we say, what's his worth? JT can win you a league right now because JT is being bought at seller dweller pricing. JT all week long has been one of my biggest buy low players heading into week number 2. And he was my biggest avoid walking into week number 1. That's how fantasy football works. If you think that's flip-flopping, A, welcome to the channel. You haven't been here long to understand how this works around these parts. B, you have something to learn about when to recognize and adjust and adapt and not stick to your guns the entire offseason when values change. There's a line in the sand process. We talk about line in the sand all the time. Line in the sand is where a player flips from an avoid into a steal. So if we look at this right here and we say, okay, Smitty's not really fond of Devontae Adams, but there is a line in the sand somewhere where Adams is an avoid, an avoid, an avoid, an avoid. And then when you hit that line in the sand, he flips into a total bargain. Every player has a line in the sand, and sometimes that line is 1 spot, 2 spots when you equivocate it to a draft value, right? Here's the first round, the second round, the third round, and the line in the sand is at 3.2. Sometimes it is literally 1 or 2 player spots or player differentiators from flipping from an avoid to a go-get. Then other times, it's actually a very gray area and a very thick line in the sand where it's like avoid, 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 avoid. Okay, kind of a meh, all the way through like half of a round. And then they flip into a total slam dunk. Jacobs would be an example of a player that probably has a very, very long gray area for me to where I'm neither, okay, he's an avoid or he's a great value. I bet you there's about a half a round of players that I would go through before I flip into the yes, I'll take him. And yes, I love him. It would be I'd trade for him and then trade him. I'd take Jacobs at that cost and I'd flip him. I'd trade him into another player. That's the whole thing. So in the case of Eckler, he could rebound. He could become a buy player for us walking into week number 3. Just like JT is right now. Just like Kamara is one of the best go-get players in fantasy football right now. Use Puka Nacua. Use Tyler Algier. Even if you have Bijan Robinson, I don't care. Use Tyler Algier to go get Alvin Kamara. Use Tyler Algier and Puka together to go get Alvin Kamara. Use Tyler Algier and Puka Nacua to go get JT or Cooper Kupp. This is the time to buy players that have upside that have fallen down into the cellar. Akers was another total avoid. Like we've hit like 90% of the avoids, and they weren't like casual mentions, like hardcore pushback all off season long. And I don't know that Akers won't rebound. I don't know that Eckler's gonna stay injured all year or suffer injury, but this is that whole, you're 28 years old, you're hobbled already, and the likelihood of him getting over this injury and not developing some other compensation injury by the ankle, like a hamstring, a groin injury, an Achilles. Achilles a lot of times happen to older players when they're struggling with another injury. And with J.K. Dobbins, he's always kind of banged up, and it makes sense that he's a player that suffered an Achilles injury. Aaron Rodgers had a calf injury and is older, and he suffered the Achilles injury. So there's a correlation between Achilles tears and what type of player is it. Like Cooper Kupp would be also another candidate to have an Achilles tear if he was to try and come back too quickly from this hamstring injury, and he's compensating, he's exploding differently, and he's older. He could easily tear an Achilles if he came back. Austin Eckler coming back too early would be a perfect candidate to tear an Achilles tendon, given he's coming back. Players are always tearing it at near the end part of their career because they're changing things, they're playing hurt, they're adjusting their body and their explosive points and pressures and how they explode off of their injured body and struggling body, and it causes these crazy moments and especially when you mix in the turf on top of that, and mixing and getting hit, and the turf and the age and the explosion and the compensation, and it's just on and on and on and on. So long-winded question or answer to this question is start London Kelly because he's gonna have a good day. Week 2 PPR flex Zay Flowers Zay Jones or Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua is a let me just say this again for everybody that thinks I'm a Puka Nacua hater. I'm not a hater. I'm just a what in the hell's going on? And what is everybody doing right now? Realist about Puka Nacua. He's a great 3 to 4 wide receiver. Wide receiver fantasy 3-4. Zay Jones is a good 3 to 4 wide receiver, which means that this is a near even Steven type of question. The only difference is Puka Nacua goes up against the 49er defense, and he's injured. He's got the oblique injury. He was over-targeted, oversaturated, not ready for the amount of volume that Stafford's going to feed him. And so, look, will he have a good day against the Niner D because they're playing catch-up and just throwing? Does he have like 80 yards or 79 yards and like 11 receptions because Stafford's throwing these short balls to him and the Niners are giving them certain parts of the field? Like, it's certainly possible. Like, Stafford is going to laser lock on the Puka Nacua, which is why people are so enamored with the situation. But playing injured might lead to another injury. It's called compensation injury. And I only come in here and explain it every single day. So Puka Nacua playing injured, being overstimulated, playing one of the toughest defenses, most physical defenses in the National Football League. Them and the Cowboys are just so brutally physical. This is not a good look right here. So go Zay Jones with this matchup. But next week it could be Puka over Zay because it's all about matchup and they're equals. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm giving Puka his flowers by calling him Zay Jones worthy. Zay Jones, Brian Robinson, Algier. Probably going Algier, my big man. Go Algier. This right here is from Pyro, Mountain Dew, and some Smitty. Let's go. I've got my Fast Twitch, which is a very, very good drink, especially this strawberry watermelon version of Gatorade. It's really, really good. I've got my version. I've got some Mexican Coke in the fridge, getting chilled to perfection. 602 of you watching right now. Only 178 thumbs up. So punch that number, please. Punch that thumb up button. Let's get those rookie numbers up. Phone lines will be open soon, and we're gonna do as we've always done for the last 3 years, and a lot of people copy us. We do speed round fantasy football Q&A. So there are people that try and do what we do a lot, and this is where we sit there and go, rapid fire speed round. Sometimes we do it for 20 minutes. Sometimes we do it for 15. Sometimes we'll just do this one for 15 once we do it. So speed round Q&A will be upcoming. So hang tight on that one. 0.5 PPR Lockett versus Puka in the flex. This week you got to go Lockett. Other league is Akers versus Hill versus Roschon. I go Roschon for upside. I don't trust Akers, especially against the Niners and splitting carries, and I don't trust that Ravens rotation whatsoever. Give me Roschon. Even though Roschon did a lot of his work, and let me make a point about Roschon. Roschon did much of his work in the final couple drives when there was nothing really to play for at that point. So there is some speculation that Khalil Herbert's still the starter without much of a question, and I don't want people to say, Smitty, there goes your top waiver wire pickup of the year. He didn't even get much run in week number 2. This is a patient play. Anybody that thinks Roschon Johnson has to do it this week or he's done doesn't understand the value and upside Roschon holds for winning your league. And I want to make sure everybody understands that he's not necessarily the starter right now. And Big Tate, we're not really doing phone calls right now, bro. I haven't opened up the phone line, but I'll give you 30 seconds. Go.
I got a trade offer for Ridley for Garrett Wilson and Mostert. Do I hit the send button?
You're getting Ridley?
Yes, getting Ridley for Garrett Wilson and Raheem Mostert.
Bro, I don't like that. I freaking love it. I freaking love it. Smash it.
All right. Alrighty, let's do it.
Hey, real quickly, the fact that you... Look, I like Garrett Wilson, bro. I love Garrett Wilson. Mostert is not that much of an additive, bro. This is like, this is like adding a grain of sugar to a coffee. It barely does anything. Doesn't change the taste at all. Ridley's a first rounder. Garrett Wilson probably is a third rounder to most people or fourth rounder to most people. I believe Garrett Wilson's top of the third equivalent right now because I think the world has gone crazy and they think that Garrett Wilson can't survive this. Not to mention, we don't even know what's in store for the quarterback room 3 weeks or 2 weeks from today. There's that aspect of it too. But bro, you're getting out of the Garrett Wilson fear fest that everybody's in that has him by giving up Raheem Mostert. So take a little bit of a lap for not knowing the answer of this, but then I want you to pat yourself on the back as you run.
Alrighty. Appreciate the help, Smitty. Thank you for your time, man.
All right, later, bro. Nice work. Nice work. 0.5 PPR Lockett. Okay, so Lockett this week. I think I already answered that one. Appreciate you. This one right here is from Guy. Have Garrett Wilson in my flex with Jahan Dotson on the bench. Super tempted to start Dotson over Garrett Wilson. Now, Dotson's got a tough matchup too, bro. It's not like, and we don't necessarily know who's going to be covering who though in this contest. But I mean, he could be covered by Surtain. He could be locked up. Dotson. I'd probably say go Garrett Wilson because it's not like it's a glory matchup. It might be okay. It might not be. I think Washington does pretty good work in this game. I wouldn't say it's a horrible move. But I'm not going to sit Garrett Wilson. Personally, I think if you had a bit different play this week, I might, but that's not one that's going to make me. I mean, you're talking about two potentially tough matchups there. First, super chat. Thank you, Avin. Appreciate you. PPR flex, Higgins or Kelly. I'm going to go Kelly for safety, Higgins for upside with a little bit of risk. Risk because Kelly's going to be handed a bunch of work no matter what. Higgins scored 0 points for people last week. And I think he rebounds. I think that Kelly's just guaranteed more safe work. But they're both very good. And Avin, if I had to guess, just to put you at ease, bro, like this could be like a 2 or 3 point difference at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So this is a good move. Question is, do you have anybody else that you could put Higgins, if you put Kelly in, that you could bench for Higgins? Need to fill my second flex spot, full PPR. Options are Hall, London, Puka, Zach Moss, Hollywood Brown. Of these options, I probably go Hall. Puka's facing, again, the 49ers, so you can't use that Dallas excuse on Garrett Wilson. Zach Moss, we don't know what's in store. He's a decent start, kind of, but you still don't fully know. Like, he could not go out. He could go out there and not get the work, and us scratch our heads and go, what the hell? You know what I mean? People that believed in Penny walking into that week 2 Thursday night matchup where DeAndre Swift went crazy. DeAndre Swift went absolutely crazy. A lot of Penny owners were shocked and thought, oh, he gets some work. He might get some work. You don't know. So I'm just going to start Hall, bro. You know, these options, especially with Puka having the Dallas Cowboys, or I'm sorry, the Niners. Puka having the Niners, just go Hall against the Dallas Cowboys. They're both facing tough matchups, but who's the top 5 running back? Breece Hall, not Puka. I know everybody thinks Puka's a top 5 wide receiver. He's not. He's not. In London, we don't know what we're getting yet. I'm not saying give up on London. Don't cut him. Thank you for the 10.
To the moon.
$1 hauler. All $10 haulers get a moonshot. Appreciate you, broski. I'm going through these super chats one by one. Let me put them on screen here so that everybody knows that their super chat is in order, and I'm waiting to get to it. So hang tight. Let me put all these on screen here. Let me put these right here. And for anybody that's going to say, Smitty, aren't you against Achilles tears, and why why is Aaron Rodgers getting all this like buzz about potentially coming back for a playoff run? And I know everybody's laughing because they're like, the Jets playoff run? I don't think so. And I kind of agree that the Jets in the playoffs that's kind of a tall order. Unless something significant happens at the quarterback position. I think Zach Wilson could surprise some people in terms of like being able to deliver the football to Garrett Wilson enough. And the defense is so good. Who knows how afloat they stay as they try and navigate a new quarterback opportunity, which I think that there is somebody else starting for the Jets by midseason. I do believe that. But maybe the defense mixed with Zach Wilson, somehow, some way, some games get skated by on, and then we're looking at the Jets acquiring somebody. There's a lot of like Kirk Cousins buzz depending on the Vikings and how that plays out. A lot of Tom Brady rumors have been shut down already. I'm putting all these super chats right here. If you guys are wondering if I haven't got to you yet, it's because there is a slew of super chats, which I'm very grateful for, that I'm putting on screen, and you can see them getting piled on top of each other over here in the corner. So hang tight while I do this. And Efren, thank you for the super chat. Thank you, Taco Cat. And I think we got a couple more that I got to drop on screen here. This one from Ricky B. Ricky B, thank you. I got a Robert Mitchell with a $20 hauler that I'm coming for next because $20 haulers get immediate assistance. I got Gary dropping a $2, and then we've got this one by Julio, $2, and then Rockout dropping this one. Rockout says flex PPR, McLaurin, Javonte, JSN, Dobbs. Probably Dobbs is your safest play. Rockout. He's just the safest move. Julio with start one, Pacheco, Kelly, Javonte, or Rashad White. Pacheco or Kelly. And honestly, this could be one where it's like 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 points apart anyway. But Kelly's probably your safer bet, given Pacheco's got to prove some things. Kelly's going to probably get some guaranteed volume. So I do like both of them. I think at the end of the day, it might be very, very close. $20 hauler from Mr. Robert Mitchell. Let's go.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Robert Mitchell, appreciate you. Smitty, I have Tony Shaheed. Tank is on waivers. Should I drop one for Tank? This might not be popular, but I don't know that Shaheed's going to be consistent all year. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me in the chat on this one, but I'm going to say Tank's going to rise. You could wait a week if you want, but I personally believe in Tank Dell. 1 week has gone by. He's a moon man. Shaheed's not a moon man. And if I could swap Shaheed and Tank Dell out on the moon man list, I wouldn't. So what good would the moon man list be? Or how am I standing by? Not that I've got to stick to it. Like Okonkwo, I don't know if Okonkwo is a moon man anymore. Absolutely kind of like disgusted that I wasted a spot on him, given how bad. I should have went away from the Titans offense. I knew better. When everybody's talking about Hopkins landing in this situation, it could kind of help Tannehill do well. I should have stuck to my guns because Tannehill's garbage. He's garbage. And I'm a little disgusted with myself that I wasted a moon man spot on freaking Okonkwo when I love Okonkwo, but how it's an uphill climb. But I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, I think I was just saying Tank Dell's on the moon man list. I wouldn't swap Tank Dell and Shaheed out, so Tank Dell's the answer. Tank Dell's the answer. Thank you for the super chats, guys. I'm going to put you in here in order in which they've been received. Burglar, thank you, pal. 0.5 McKinnon on the waiver wire, or start Akers versus Roshan. I would start Roshan. Puka versus Lockett. Puka's got the 49ers. Let me just make this and I don't care if you guys need to ask me again. I'm just trying to help anybody watching. Let me make this really clear. There's probably not a lot that Puka is going to be better than if you're asking me the question when he's facing the 49ers and he's injured. So it's not a good play for Puka this week. Smitty, who are your favorite running back buys right now? I need a running back 2-ish player. Also, in a PPR, do you like Burks, London, or Bateman? I like London most, but I don't love those options this week, to be honest with you. But that's my ranking there. And as far as RBs to buy low entering this week, bro, honestly, I think when you go as far down outside the top 10, you see a Walker, you see a Jahmyr Gibbs at like running back 13 this week across the consensus industry. 13. That requires 3 hands. You can't even count that on 2 hands. You need to borrow some toes. That's how low down Jahmyr Gibbs is. People are ranking him too low. Damian Pierce. Pacheco. Javonte Williams. Breece Hall. Now, granted, Breece Hall this week is ranked really low, but overall people love him. But he's still buy low. Swift is no longer going to be attainable. Swift is absolute monster. Every time we say Swift, we get up. Those are some guys. Hopefully that helps you out, bro. Appreciate you. Tomcat, Taco Cat, same thing. Smitty, please help me pick 3 out of 5 players. D-Hop, Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore is a good play this week with Cooper not playing. We also have some news to get to. Let me see if I can drop the news on the screen here actually real quick. Let's go through this news real briefly because it's going to help some people with their fantasy football dilemmas this week. This is all really, really important news that needs to be talked about, needs to be worked out, needs to be brought up. Let's drop it all on the screen right now. Packers running back Aaron Jones is questionable for Sunday's game due to a hamstring injury and is not expected to play. A.J. Dillon, fire him up, assuming A.J. Dillon's healthy at the final hour. Once you got to decide. Christian Watson listed as questionable for Sunday due to a hamstring injury, is not expected to play. So Dobbs is good to go. Hopkins listed as questionable for Sunday due to an ankle, but is expected to play. So to answer Taco's question, you can include Hopkins in here. But the answer is probably going to be Kelly, Dillon, and either Elijah Moore or Pacheco. And I want to say Hopkins, but it's an awful offense, bro. I want to say it so badly. I want to be like, bro, you need to start Hopkins, but it's not like a cakewalk here. Not to mention, I feel like Pacheco is going to get a lot of run. Elijah Moore is going to get a lot of run. And that game, that Browns game, should probably be pretty entertaining. It's a tough defense, but look, the Steelers got worked over pretty hardcore by the Niners, so I don't know that they're all that tough. I'd probably go Pacheco. I like Elijah Moore, but I probably want to wait and see on Elijah Moore. He's a really nice play. You could always go Elijah Moore, Pacheco, and Kelly and say, what's Dillon? How much work's Dillon going to get? Are they going to feed him properly? I would, if it was me, I would go Dillon, Kelly, Pacheco. Final answer. Appreciate you. The content loves you back, pal. Thank you so much. We got Rap dropping a super chat. We've got Thomas dropping a super chat. We got Mystic dropping a super chat. Thank you, Mystic. We got Adrian dropping a super chat. Thank you very much. This one from Tyler says Monty or Kelly. I'm probably going to go Kelly this week, but Monty's a very, very nice play. Actually, you know what? What's the chat think on that one? Kelly. Let's put that back on screen. Are we going Kelly or Monty? Member for 4 months. Corey, Flex, Algier, Flowers, Lockett, Kelly, or Pickens. I'm going to go Flowers by a mile. And make sure you watch the beginning of the show where I really explain why in tremendous detail. What are we doing here, guys? Are we going Monty or Kelly? Monty or Kelly? Monty or Kelly? Monty or Kelly? Breece is questionable, Niner Rick, but it's a formality. He's playing. I'll get to that in a second. He's playing. He's not out, or he's not 50-50 to play. He's questionable, but expected to play. We got a Kelly, Monty, Kelly, Monty. Monty, 100%. Monty, Kelly. Kelly, Monty, Kelly. Kellen Moore likes to run the ball, but you know what I'm going to say? I mean, this is the Titans, though. I'm going to say, Tyler, you got to get both of them in your lineup somehow. If you've got to choose, maybe you go steady Eddie Monty. If you need safety, you go high risk, high reward Kelly. If you need a swing, like the team you're playing, you need something big. But Monty's the steady Eddie. Smitty, pick one wide receiver, one flex, one tight end. JP, let me do the rest of this news real quick because this will be helpful to everybody. This one here, Travis Kelce impressed in practice ahead of the Jaguars face-off. So Kelce looking like an absolute monster. Go watch my video before this where I talk about the KC Jag game. Now, granted, there's some weather implications, but I don't know. Unless there's wind, I'm not too concerned with the weather. I'm always concerned with wind. You know, snow, weather that's like 0 degrees where quarterbacks can't even grip the ball, or it's snowing and they can't see, or if there's wind. If there's no wind, even in wet conditions, and it could rain and then stop raining, players fall down. There's 99-yard touchdowns in those games. It could be an absolute scoring fest in that game. Weather is a factor, but weather can also kickstart a lot of scoring. Here's the other pieces of news here that we got to go over. This one right here, DeAndre Hopkins, questionable, but is expected to play, as I just mentioned a minute ago. This one right here from the one that I talked about earlier, Christian Watson, questionable, but will be inactive. So make sure you keep that in mind again. This one right here, Aaron Jones, again, is to miss week number 2. I already went over that. I got some more news here. Some of this is a repeat, but I just want to make sure I get it all. Dulcich placed on the injured reserve. There goes that project. I was never on that train anyway. Melvin Gordon elevated to the active roster for week 2. This is why I stay clear of that Baltimore backfield. I don't understand why people think Hill is this great play. Austin Eckler ruled out officially, so Kelly is a go. Those are all the pieces of news that could help you guys out walking into the, what is it, almost midnight here, 3 minutes away from midnight. My time is 3 a.m. Eastern. We got 700 people in here and only 227 thumbs up. Punch that thumb up button. Smitty, pick one wide receiver, one flex, one tight end. Wilson, Evans, Dobbs with Watson out. Kelly with Eckler out. Legit run defense. Laporta versus Henry. I'm going to go Laporta. I'm going to go Dobbs is safe. Evans is probably higher risk, higher reward, but the reward is 100 yards and a touchdown. I would probably say Kelly as your Kelly and Dobbs, or Kelly and Evans. I hate putting Wilson on the bench, but it is a tough matchup, and I think Dobbs and Evans are good starts, so I don't hate doing that. Watson is out, so Dobbs is a pretty good play, bro. So Dobbs and Kelly are your safest bets. If you want to go higher risk, go put Dobbs on the bench and put Evans in there. So it kind of depends on your matchup. And if you think you can, like, you're projected to win, you don't need to really risk it for the biscuit. But if you're down 35% likely chance of winning your game and you are facing off against Swift, then you might want to throw Evans in there and hope for like a 2-touchdown game. Traded my Chase Pickens for Gibbs and Ramondre. Chase Pickens and Watson. That was a smash.
Got him.
I mean, there's good sides of that trade. I mean, Chase is amazing, but Gibbs, Ramondre, and Watson is a ton, bro. Love Gibbs, but wait, what's to say? I love Gibbs, but I don't know. What? Wait, what? What's he just saying here? 10-man PPR, love Gibbs, but I don't know. No, you're fine. Gibbs is amazing. No, we might need to take away his Gibbs card for even mentioning anything negative about Gibbs. You can't say but when you talk about Gibbs. Terry with the Tyler with the follow-up, Monty or Mixon. I'm going Monty. Superfish with a $2 non-PPR start, Algier, Joshua Kelly, or Pacheco. Your safe play is Kelly. High risk, high reward plays Pacheco and Algier, really, because the workloads are a little more in question. So I probably just roll with Kelly because you know he's going to get a boatload. Pacheco's a great flex play. But Kelly's arguably a running back 2 play this week. You know what I mean? That's why I love Pacheco in certain spots. 0.5 PPR, Puka, Kirk, or Judy. Probably going to go with Kirk in a shootout. I don't know what we're getting from Judy. Puka's hurt and playing the Niners, so give me a bounce back out of Kirk. Start 2. Ayuk, Evans, and Babe Davis. And Babe. I don't think I'm going Babe. I think I'm going Ayuk and Evans, and it's pretty easy, James. Even though Babe Davis is trying to win you over. $10 $10 hauler.
To the moon.
It is a super chat, but $10 hauler. There you go. $10 get a moonshot. Lawrence Walker Cowboys. Lawrence Pierce. What is this? Choose one of these. Come on, picks. What is this? You're trying to shove like 8 questions into one super chat. It's okay, but like, what are we doing here? Lawrence Pierce Cowboys, Lawrence Walker Cowboys, Lawrence White Cowboy. Like, why do we have to do? Can't we just pick Lawrence and then can't we just pick the? I don't know what's this combination stuff that we're doing here. I guess out of all these combos, I'm liking Lawrence Walker Cowboys. I think. Yes. I don't know what I'm looking at there. That's the weirdest question. Raheem Mostert got saved by the touchdown last week, but got Romeo Doubs and Shaheed. I would put Doubs in your starting lineup spot, bro. Easily. I got Chubb and Brees in the flex. Yeah. Wait, was that another question there? I got Chubb and Brees at running back 2. Okay. Yeah, Doubs for me. Doubs is the nice play. Start 2, running back 2, and a flex. Kelly and Flowers for me. Dylan's a thought, but I'm going Flowers. If you want to go Dylan and Flowers, I could get behind that too. But I think I go Kelly. Smitty, would you trade Saquon for Gibbs straight up? I just did that. We did that the throne draft. We had Saquon. Remember we drafted Saquon? I just traded Saquon for Gibbs in the throne draft. He threw in Hollywood Brown, which we don't really care about. We're trying to flip him. But I did that in the throne draft, and we're ecstatic over it. Worried about KC Jacksonville game environment with weather. Not until we hear there's wind, as I mentioned a bit ago. Atomic, 0.5 PPR. Should I flex Stevenson or Keenan Allen? I'm going to go Stevenson all day long. Both have good matchups. My running backs are Jacobs and Walker, and Ingram or Higbee. I go Ingram. I think it's going to be a nice little KC Chief Jaguar game. If win reports come in, then we'll readjust and adapt. Pittman, Godwin, DJ Moore, Pickens start 2. DJ Moore and probably, I guess Pittman if you want safety, Godwin if you want high upside, high reward. Or risk. High risk, high reward. You know what I mean? Pick 3 to start. Olave, London, Gabe Davis. I'm going to go. Come on. Why are we putting Olave in here? Why even waste the space, bro? Olave, and we're going to go London and Gabe Davis. Which, some of those are rough this week, but non-PPR. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Christian Watson going in my IR spot. Pick up who from waivers? Love or Laporta? Have Hurts and Kincaid. Had Aaron Rodgers. I take Love because of the potential trade value he gives you, not only with trading away Love, but if you need to down the road trade away Hurts to bank on Love and get another like high-end wide receiver 1. Pacheco, Brees, Dotson need 2. I'm going to go Pacheco and probably Dotson. But, if you want to go Brees over Dotson, I could flip that easily. Laporta or Muth, Godwin, Pittman, or Coop. Coop who? Amari Cooper's out. We're going to go Laporta. And we're going to go probably, I had this question earlier, Godwin if you need high risk, meaning like you're projected to lose and you need a big swing. But if like you're even, or Pittman's pretty steady. Freiermuth or Laporta, we just had that question. Laporta. Christian Columbus, thank you for the super chat, by the way. Christian, thank you as well for the super chat. Just got to trade Diggs for Amon-Ra and Devontae Smith. I take Amon-Ra and Devontae Smith and I run. And I send you on a lap for not knowing that. And thank you for your super chat. That's an absolute smash, bro. Look, Diggs is good, but Amon-Ra is right there. And you get Devontae Smith, who's also right there. Like, how is this a question?
Got him.
You absolutely blasted him to pieces on that trade, bro. Garrett Wilson, Tony Hodgins, or Calvin Austin. Come on, bro. Sick Nasty, you're my boy, and you're a mod. You know better than this. Hodgins or Calvin? Like, I like Calvin Austin, and who the hell knows what could happen on any given Sunday. But we can't. Like, Tony's interesting. But Garrett Wilson or Hodgins, are we really? I know the matchup's tough, but are we really there? Tony is interesting. If you wanted to bank on Tony, I could nod. I don't know that I'd agree, but I would give you like a nod, like when we're two buddies see each other across. I maybe be like, I get what you're doing. I see what you're doing there. I think he rebounds, but I'd probably go Garrett Wilson. This is just one of those things where you start your studs when you're talking about non-studs. Have Charbonnet and Roshan. Appreciate you, Sick Nasty. Sick Nasty to the moon for being an amazing moderator. Appreciate that, man. Have Charbonnet and Roshan Johnson, but want Sean Tucker. Should I drop one of them for Tucker? No. I think you find another way to get Tucker. You might even be able to drop your kicker and then go through, if your league allows this, go through the entire slate of games on Sunday and see if you even need your kicker. And some leagues will let you drop a player that's already played, and you can still pick up a player and then start him, even though the player's played. You just got to know your format. Sleeper allows you to do that in some formats. And then just like, maybe you don't even need to pick up a kicker. You'll win your matchup anyway and hold on to both. But you got to know what you're doing on that. But I don't drop either of those running backs.
To the moon.
Thank you for the super chat. This one goes to, who is this? Furious Geezer with a
to the moon.
$10 holler. Appreciate you. Is it possible McKinnon is better play than Kelsey in the game to help free him up? Is it possible McKinnon is a better play with the Kelsey in the? You mean in terms of RBs? Maybe. We don't know. We don't know. Pacheco is a good play. McKinnon could be back to his old tricks right away. It's tough to know. That's why McKinnon is a must pick up and hold. And we talked about if he got released, he would be a guy you make sure you scoop up. So if McKinnon gets cut, you grab him if you can, and you hold him. Because he could be a baller again. He should not be on waivers. But do I think Pacheco is the better play? I do think Pacheco is the better play than McKinnon. Adrian, appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. McKinnon, Spears, A-Chain. It's always funny when someone asks a question like that. The next question has that player in it. It's always hilarious. McKinnon, Spears, A-Chain need to drop one for Zeke. Why do you need to drop one for Zeke? I mean, you might have Ramondre, but why do we need to do that? I mean, if you've got to, I guess I would drop Spears, but he looks better than Zeke, so why would we do that? A-Chain, maybe because he's a week or two away, you could maybe get away with picking him up next week. But I don't want Zeke over those guys, personally. Start Hall or Herbert and Flowers or Dotson. I'm going to go probably Hall. I like Herbert a lot. I still like Herbert and Roshan. I don't want people to think I don't like Roshan, but Roshan still isn't yet anointed the starter. Like that's a future move. That is a looking through the crystal ball move. Roshan is a patient hold. If he doesn't ball out this week, people are going to drop him and say I'm wrong. And it's not that he's going to do it yet. Like Herbert's still in there. I'm probably going to go Hall. I just can't sit Hall. Flowers over Dotson. I could get behind Khalil Herbert over Hall, though. But I personally would rather just have Hall in there. Dell to the moon. Yeah, attaboy Thomas. Appreciate you. This one from Rap. Do you have a favorite Survivor pick this week? The Niners are almost a near lock to win. How do I fleece for CMC and or CD? I have Allen, Etienne, Hall. I'm on Raw. Roshan. Let's see here. I don't know, bro. I mean, I don't think you're going to necessarily get CMC from somebody. You can't fleece anybody for CMC. What are we talking about? That's not possible. I would say that you could probably get CD Lamb pretty easy right now. Trade Kelly. Trade Kelly and I mean you could trade Kelly and Wilson for CD if you wanted to get out of the Garrett Wilson game. That would be the best move probably if you wanted to back out of Garrett Wilson. That would be a pretty easy move. And there it is. Kelly, the next question. It's always the next question. Kelly or James Cook? Kelly is the better play, bro. He's going to get a lot of volume and do pretty well. Pick 2, Javonte, Dotson, Puka, JSN. I'm going to go Javonte and honestly, Dotson, but I love JSN this week. You could go JSN and Dotson if you're a little bit unsure as to whether Javonte is going to get enough work yet. But JSN's in the same boat. So, like, JSN and Javonte are the waiver back and forth between the two. Dotson's more of the locked-in guy. So that's how I feel about that. Thank you for the super chat. And we got some more super chats here. Ryder dropping one. Andre dropping one. Bear dropping one. Just Sherman in the building. Appreciate you. Saul's in here dropping a super. We got Ethan coming in strong with a $5 holler. Ethan, appreciate you. We've got Young coming in with a 2 spot. We got Ethan Phelps who dropped that $5.99, but also a $1.99 or $4.99 and $1.99. We got Kerry dropping a 20 watt who's going to get immediate assistance. We got Vino dropping a 20 watt who's going to get immediate assistance. We've got Little Angel with the 40. That's I don't know the conversion on that. $4 holler, I think. Thank you. Max with a $5 holler. Richard with a $2 holler. And then we got Tyler and the boys already queued up and ready to go. We've got this one right here and Kat Zadie right here. Carrie with the $20 super chat.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate you for dropping that super chat. Carrie says need double downing confirmation. Brees in the flex versus Mixon or Algier. I mean, look, Algier is safer, but I mean, we know Brees can like literally just hit that gear, and one carry could be 80-yard touchdown. You know, so even against Dallas, I mean, I'll probably say, bro, if you need steady Eddie, go Algier. If you're 50% likely to win the matchup, 48% likely to lose, whatever, very close, Algier's safe. You know, like you might be watching the game and be hoping Brees gets to Algier's amount of points and be like, come on, just get another carry. But you are running the risk of Brees popping off an 80-yard touchdown. So safety's Algier. You need a big swing. And not that Algier can't have a big swing too. He's scored 2 touchdowns last week. But, I mean, I just don't know that I could sit Brees Hall. I don't really. Matchup is tough, but I don't know that I sit him. Dylan, Mixon, Rashad White. Oh, this is Vino. Vino's time right now.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
Vino, appreciate you. Big Tate, we still haven't opened up the phone line. Big Tate, what are you doing?
I'm sorry, man. That trade that I just called you about fell through. The guy was too scared to do it, but he just sent me a counter offer. I just need to know I'm looking at the accept button as I'm talking to you right now. I just need to hear your expertise before I send it through.
Can we call you scared? I'm going to call you scared Tate now because you're literally scared Tate calling in, interrupting the stream twice now. Hit me with that real quick. You got 10 seconds.
St. Brown, Freiermuth, Pacheco, and Swift for Dameon Pierce, Garrett Wilson, Waller, and Mike Evans.
Say that one more time.
St. Brown, Freiermuth, Pacheco, and Swift for Dameon Pierce, Garrett Wilson, Waller, and Mike Evans. I'd be getting the St. Brown side.
So you went from getting a home run to calling into the show, or was it a verbal, or was it out there and he pulled it or something? Because that was an amazing trade.
And then once he was like, "Nah, the more I think about it, the more that."
You waited too long, bro. You waited too long. You waited too long. But this trade right now, hold on, hang tight, bro. Mute yourself real quick so you don't interrupt Vino's super chat here that I got to read off. Vino comes first. He dropped a $20 hauler, and you're interrupting him. Hold on a second. Full PPR, how do you feel about Calvin Austin Monday night? He had 6 receptions, and Deontay is out. I'm thinking of playing him since Christian Watson is out for my other flex. The other option is Puka and Bateman. I love it. Because Puka, I like it. Vino, let it ride. Puka is injured and plays a tough 49er defense. I'm behind it. I'm behind that ballsy move. And let everybody say bad things about it. I'm okay with it, bro. You've got a Monday night spotlight game. The Cleveland Brown defense is going to be potentially something that, they might shut down Pickens, and Calvin Austin goes nuts for a long touchdown reception. Calvin Austin's one of the toughest wide receivers in the NFL to guard. I don't think people really realize that. So I'm all for that. Okay, real quickly, I'm going to have you read off Scared Tate what your trade is one more time, then we'll have the chat vote on it. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. Let me switch over to the board view, and let's go ahead and hear it again. It's same. Is this dynasty or redraft?
Redraft. Full PPR.
Redraft. PPR. Okay, it's Amon-Ra,
Fryermuth, Pacheco, and Swift.
Pacheco, and Swift.
I give up Damian Pierce, Garrett Wilson, Waller, and Mike Evans. And if it matters at all, my team is Justin Fields, Ramondre Stevenson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, I don't have time for that, bro. I'm sorry. But what I'll tell you, you're going to have to make your own judgment of whether it helps your team enough, but I'm just going to tell you what side's, rocking out here. So this is tough. I mean, you went from having a smash home run side of this deal to dragging your feet. Maybe he would have said no once you called him out on it anyway. I mean, I'm not trying to make you feel bad, but you needed to hit. What was the original trade?
It was Ridley for Garrett Wilson and Mostert.
God, bro.
Yeah.
Why did it turn into this, though?
The guy, I don't know what made it. He was like, the more that I look into Mostert, the more that I don't like that his knee won't hold up. And it was going back and forth between him wanting this guy and this guy and this guy. And then he's like, I want Gibbs. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to give you Gibbs. And this is where we're at right now.
The thing that pisses me off about this isn't even close to the same trade. It's like not even the same. It's not even the same at all. But what's the chat thinking here? I'd probably say, here's how I evaluate it. This is a wild card here in Mike Evans, which you can't even see. So let me move this up. Waller and Evans. The thing that really pisses me off here is this is not the same trade. I probably say there's almost too much going on here. Everyone's saying keep Waller out of it. Can you just keep Evans out of it? Or Pierce out of it? Sell him on the fact that you're giving him a tight end upgrade. And it's not that I don't... Look, Amon-Ra is the best player in the deal. He's a top 12 overall player. Garrett Wilson is a third rounder right now. Third to fourth rounder to everybody else. I think top of round 3. We'll call him 3.1. That's how I feel about him. I could care less what he does this week. He's still going to be a monster to me. This is a 5th rounder. This is a 6th or 7th rounder because I think he gets hurt. And then Evans is a 5 to 7 round guy. Swift is I don't know, some would call him at least a 3rd rounder. Who even knows if someone would draft him in round 2? I think Pacheco bounces back. At the end of the day, I love this side more. But
I can't see which side do you like?
The Amon-Ra side more. But if I'm you, I would just take Evans out of the trade and just say, look, bro, you're getting you're giving up Evans, right? Tell him you're getting Waller, that difference maker. I would take Evans out of the trade.
Would you put Dotson instead of Evans, or is that still too much?
No, I wouldn't give up Dotson either.
Gotcha.
Give him Mostert. I know he doesn't want Mostert, but he didn't want Mostert at the cost of earlier. Now he say Mostert instead of Evans. You were worried about his knee. Well, now you don't have to worry about it because you got all this other talent. If it works out, you win the league. Tell Matt.
Alrighty.
Mostert stays a starter, you win the league. All right, bro.
All right, thanks.
But if you did this, I wouldn't make you take a lap later. All right, back to business. I mean, he calls in again. I swear. Dylan, Mixon, Rachaad White need 2. Dylan and Mixon. Easy one. But I trade Mixon if you can. Half PPR, Miles Sanders, Rachaad White, or Godwin. I'm going to go... God, I don't know on that one. I'll probably say give me Godwin, but I don't even love those options. Like, do you have a Flowers by chance? Start Garrett Wilson, Zay Flowers, or Dobbs. There's Flowers. See, it's always, whatever I say, it's always in the next question. I'm going Zay Flowers. And then, look, Dobbs is a good one as well, but Zay Flowers is my boy. Start two Pierce, Garrett Wilson, DJ Moore. Go Pierce and DJ Moore. Garrett Wilson is a tough matchup, but don't give up on Garrett Wilson. What about Saquon for Ramondre and Hollywood? I don't even like Hollywood. But no, I'm not doing that. Saquon's got more value, bro. Hang on to Saquon. Sell him higher than that. Start Pickens or Dobbs this week. I'm going Dobbs. Pitts or Hurst at tight end. It's a tough matchup for Hurst. I'm going to go Pitts in this one, but I don't love either option, to be honest. I'd rather have Kincaid. Trade Pierce and James Cook for Chubb. I would take Chubb. Absolutely. And as I type this, I hear you trade Barkley for Gibbs. Is that? Yes, of course I would. I'd take Gibbs straight up. I just did that in a trade. Moss or Puka. Thank you for the super chat. Moss or Puka. Moss. But is there a better option? Hopefully there's a better option, but Puka's got a tough matchup and hurt. Smith and Jigba, flex or Mostert. I'm going to go JSN. Wilson or Dobbs. Dobbs is safer this week only. And I can't blame you for starting Garrett Wilson. I would actually be proud of you if you did. 12-man, 0.5 PPR, Wilson or Dotson. Dotson safer. Zach Wilson's higher risk, higher reward. Sometimes there's not an answer, bro. It's a matter of what's your matchup look like. What do you need? Do you need safety? Go Dotson. B. Hall, Pittman, Judy, or Shaheed. I'm going B. Hall there. Pittman might be safer if you need safety, but I would go swinging with B. Hall, baby. Dotson or Brees. Go Dotson for safety. Brees Hall for high risk, high reward. Concerned about Brees. Won't get enough work because the Jets will be behind. And if they are, they would probably keep him, on the bench and healthy, to be honest. So, there's a point there for sure. But still, one carry for 80 yards and a touchdown could happen at any moment. One wide receiver, one flex. London, Pickens, JSN, Zeke, Puka. Half PPR. London, Pickens, JSN, Zeke, Puka. Probably London. Probably London. Give me... Falcons are at home, right? Yeah, Green. Give me JSN and Pickens, but super close, bro. And Cat, wide receiver 2, and a flex, full PPR, start 2. Brees Hall and Pickens. Unless you trust Judy, I don't yet. Kelly or Dylan, give me Kelly. Just more guaranteed work that I know about. You know what I'm saying? And Vegas with the $5 hauler, and then I think we're caught up on supers for the moment. Pick 2 PPR, wide receiver 2. Actually, here's another one. Wide receiver 2. And a flex. Mike Williams, Dotson, Pickens, Ayuk. Ayuk for sure. And Skywalker, bro. Come on. What are we doing here? I like Dotson. I like Mike Williams. I like Pickens to a degree. But like Skywalker, Ayuk, start your studs, bro. Start your studs. Make some trades. You're right. Austin, start Elijah Moore or Higgins. I'm starting Higgins. Look, Elijah Moore's a nice play, but I'm starting Higgins. You know, Higgins had everybody disappointed, but yeah. Okay. So that catches us up, and now we're going to go to speed round Q&A. We'll do 10 straight minutes of speed round Q&A.
It is time for the speed question and answer segment.
Unable to replicate this specific segment, but people try, people steal it all the time. Let's roll speed round Q&A. Ask your questions. If it's longer than one sentence, it will be skipped. And anybody that repeats their question over and over, I will skip you as well. So play the game properly. Waddle or Debo? Give me Debo this week. But that one's really close. I spent my family's grocery money on parlays. Nice job. Pickens or Charbonnet? I'm going Pickens. Too long. Hall or Javonte or Godwin? I go Javonte. Tila or Fields? I go Fields, but I love both of them. Pickens' ACL was in Georgia years ago, says Superfish. Kincaid or Warren? Go Warren. Dell or McKinnon? I go McKinnon. A-Chain or Calvin Austin? I go Calvin Austin. Dobbs or Godwin? Dobbs. Flowers or James Cook? Flowers. Shaheed or Bourne? Probably Shaheed. Flowers, Cooper. Cooper's out, bro. Come on. Stay with the news, Ty. Flowers is an easy call. Mike Evans or DJ Moore? Go DJ Moore. DJ Moore, but very close. Pickens or Brees? Go Brees. Star Wars or Star Trek? I love both of them. Cooper is out. So Josh Kelly, what are you talking about, Tristan? Cooper's out. What running backs would you target with Addison or Zay? I don't know. Pierce, Walker, those types. That's probably too hard for a fast question because I got to cook up like all these different names. Running backs, ask that again. Running backs would you target with Addison? Oh, I just did that one. Scary. Terry Trustable, not really as a wide receiver too, bro. As a flex, maybe. What running backs? Okay, you just posted that, didn't you? Or is that just me pulling it up again? Kincaid or Laporta? I'm going to go Laporta safer. Mixon, Puka for Gibbs? No. Of course I wouldn't, Joey. I only tell you to not draft Mixon, avoid Mixon, trade Mixon, and that Puka's so overrated, and Gibbs is a top 5 running back in the making, Joey. I would hit the take a lap button, but it'll just reset the timer. Gibbs going off tomorrow? Absolutely. Christian Kirk or Mostert? I'm probably going to go Christian Kirk in that one. Hunter or Pat Freiermuth? I'd probably go Freiermuth. Yeah, probably go Freiermuth. Let's see here. Is McLaurin trustable? No. Gabe Davis or Flowers? Flowers. Pittman or Dillon? Is that Matt? Is that Matt who said Gibbs is trash? I think that's him. I think that's the Matt that did. Dylan. Pacheco, Dylan, Kelly. Kelly's safest. Roshan, JSN. Tony, probably going JSN in that situation. Trade Puka for Jamar Chase. Only if you like winning. Brees or Zay? Probably Zay safer, but it'd be hard for me to sit Brees Hall. Kirk or Javonte? I'm going to go Javonte, but very, very close. Crazy flexing Josh Reynolds. Depends on your options. Mike Evans or DK? DK. Look, I like Mike Evans, but come on. Monty or Mixon? I'd probably go Monty. Drake London or Javonte? Probably Javonte. Richardson or Fields? Go Fields. Smitty or any other fantasy show? Smitty. Swift, Freiermuth for Gibbs, Sun God. Swift, Freiermuth, Gibbs, Sun. Gibbs, what? Wait, what? This is probably the worst. I'm putting this in the corner because you need to take a big lap for even asking this question. Flowers. Oh, man, where'd it go? These or these nuts, says Devon. Burrow, Higgins, or Fields, Gibbs? Fields, Gibbs. Dylan or Pacheco? We're going to go Pacheco. Lamar or Goff? Lamar. Deuce, Vaughn or Roshan? Roshan. Burrow, we already did that one. Tua or Allen, Josh Allen. But you could argue that this week for sure. Musgrave or Ingram, Ingram. Drop Akers for Kyron, neither. But probably Kyron. London for James Cook. I'd rather have London long-term this week, James Cook. Drop Pacheco or Pierce for Roshan. Why in the hell would you drop Damian Pierce? What in the hell's wrong, TZ, with this equation? Unbelievable if I could press the take a lap button on some of these questions, guys. Kenneth Walker or Javonte? Kenneth Walker, I mean, Javonte could get there. Hall or Flowers? Flowers. Drop Hyatt or Thielen for Tank Dell. Sure, either one. Love you, Smitty. Channel growing fast. Thank you, Devon. Need to. Dobbs, London, Zay Jones, or Moore. DJ Moore for me. Garrett Wilson or Breece Hall? Probably Hall this... Well, no, Garrett Wilson... You know, I go back and forth on this one, too. Probably Garrett Wilson this week because Hall sharing carries and banged up. Or not banged up. He's... They're considering him, you know, questionable because they're still easing him back. Try to trade Pitts for Kincaid. I mean, in a dynasty, sure. In a redraft, you should be able to easily get him. Gibbs or Olave rest of the season, probably tied. London or Elijah Moore this week. Probably Elijah Moore this week. Drop A-Chain for Kamara. No, Brandon. Leave the running back one on waivers. Ingram or Kittle? Ingram. Pierce or Monty? Standard scoring. Pierce. Monty this week, but maybe Pierce long term. Pretty close. Start Gabe Davis or Sky Moore. Gabe Davis. Purdy or Darnold? I'm gonna go Purdy. Obviously Purdy. Darnold's trash, bro. What are you talking about? The part of me thinks he's serious though, because he's a Niner fan, and I don't know if you think like Darnold's something special or not. Like, I really wonder if you believe that Darnold's a heap of trash. I don't know if you're just joking to be funny, but if you have to start Darnold, you're losing. The Niners will lose. You'll fall apart. So hopefully Purdy stays healthy. $20 hauler by David. Smitty, Detroit Dave. I'm killing my league already because of you. Smitty, to the moon. Best analyst out here, Detroit. Love 100. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. McLaurin or Breece Hall? Probably McLaurin this week safer. Laporta, Musgrave, Laporta rest of season. But that's close. I mean, it's arguable. Let me scroll down to the bottom. If you guys got another question, post it. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. London, Kirk, Rice. Go Kirk this week, but it's tough. Kelly or Walker? Walker. McLaurin or Breece? McLaurin safer. I already answered that one. Bro, been up 26 hours. Just need an answer. Do I still have this one pasted? Ada, this is the worst question I've ever been asked. I don't care if you've been up 26 hours. Gibbs over Swift. Like, Gibbs over Swift, Ada. Like, if you could trade Swift for Gibbs, you get excited. And then you get Sun God over Freiermuth. This is probably the worst trade offer I've ever seen in my entire life. If you're sending it to him, your friendship might... Ada, you know I love you, pal. Don't take offense to it. But if you send that to somebody, your friendship will end immediately. Drop Terry McLaurin? No. Dotson or G. Willie? This week, Dotson, but by a hair. Pick two. Pickens, Flowers, Garrett Wilson. I'm probably going to go... I might have flip-flopped on this one, so if you've been listening and I'm changing my tune, understand what I'm saying last. I think I go Flowers and Garrett Wilson here. Addison for Kamara. I take Kamara in a millisecond. Start Breece or JSN. This week, JSN. Zay Jones or Nico. Zay Jones. Smitty, my super chat. I'll get to it 1 second, pal. I'm going through a speed round real quick. Grandma sending that. Reed or Christian Watson with Watson, or Reed with Watson out. He's okay. Moss or Hollywood. Oh, you're not going to answer this, Matt, because you pasted it twice. Rules are rules, bro. Flex, Gibbs or Kelly. I'm going to go... Gee, let me think. Gibbs. Gibbs for Ridley. Yeah, honestly, pretty even. On the year even. But I think Ridley's safer. Mostert, Nico, or Dotson, or Dobbs. I go Dobbs. Dobbs is pretty safe, bro. Very, very good question. Patriots, Dolphins on Sunday Night Football. Patriots or Dolphins? I would say, give me the Dolphins, bro. Drop Bigsby for McKinnon. I would say these are very even, and it just depends on the situation as to which one rises above the other. You know what I'm saying? Addis says, no offense taken, brain not thinking. I mean, bro, both your players. All right, let me put this on the screen one more time, just so everybody can look at it one more time. Swift and Fryermuth for Gibbs and Sun God. At least be honest with me, Ada. That's what you're cooking up to send out. Is that correct? There's no way someone sent you that. There's no way. This is Gibbs' channel. It absolutely is. We need to get Gibbs on this show. It's the last thing I do. Gibbs and Breece Hall are coming on the show eventually. Mark my words. Start 2, Kenneth Walker, Monty, DJ Moore. We're going to go with Walker and probably Monty for safety. But if you need a big swing, go DJ Moore. I have a really good feeling about Fields and DJ Moore this week. Pittman and Connor at flex. Go Pittman. Al Bundy or Gibbs. Matt, are you the... Okay, so the timer is over. Let's go look and see if that's the right Matt.
And off he goes.
It is.
To the planet known as Uranus.
Hey, Matt, you going to explain yourself right here? Have you changed your tune at all, Matt, with your comment here, Gibbs is trash? We just wanted to hear you backtrack here and just back out of your ridiculous statement. You missed my super chat. Oh, now I feel bad, Matt. Hold on a second. Sorry, Matt. Matt, hold on. I didn't miss your super chat. I just haven't got to it yet. Like, you sent that in the middle of the speed round. But I will help you, Matt. Hang tight. Okay, Matt's super chat is right here. Matt says, choose one, Hollywood Brown, Moss, or Gabe Davis. We're going to go with probably Gabe Davis, but I don't love any of those options, Matt. And don't worry, I always get to you. I have a long list of super chats that come in, so it's not like I'm ever going to miss you, but you can tell me if I skip it on accident or something like that. 5 PPR, need 2 flex spots to fill Jahan Dotson, Javonte Williams, I assume. I mean, Demetrius, you got to give me the Jay Williams. Could be Javonte Williams. It could be Jameson Williams, even though he's out. It could be Jamal Williams. I don't know who the hell this is. Dotson, let's call it Javonte. This is a wide receiver, though, right? I don't know. It might not be, though, but I assume because they're all wide receivers. I would say Dotson and a running back because there's no wide receiver Williams. Jamal Williams, Javonte Williams, or... Yeah, I don't think there's any other Jay Williams. That's it, right? Any other Jay Williams? Jamal Williams, Javonte Williams, Jameson Williams. Any other Jay Williams? I'm blanking on one. I'm going to go Dotson and Javonte. If it's Jamal, I still may go Jamal over Nico. Liquid Silk. Smitty, let everyone know Pickens is hurt. I mean, bro, he's off the injury report, though. Like, what do you want everybody to do? You know, he's probably more along the lines of fine than not. Okay? But I know you want everyone to, like, stay away from him, but Pickens is still a solid play. But, yeah, I mean, is he probably still a little banged up? I'm sure he is a little bit. Dave with a $20. Dave, appreciate you.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert.
Did Matt ever take responsibility for his comment? Matt. What is his name? Matt what? What is it again? Matt Gaskill? Niner Matt. Jolts, are you mad, bro? Niner Matt, we're just wanted to know why you hate Gibbs. I feel like you're not saying. David, $20 hauler. Smitty, Detroit Dave. I'm killing my league. Oh, I already got that one. Thank you, Detroit Dave. Appreciate you dropping that super chat. Handed said 1 QB 10 team dynasty 0.5 PPR. Anyone you'd move off of? If so, who should I target? Allen, Breece, Etienne, Olave, Devontae Smith, Pitts, Higgins. Higgins maybe. And who could you move off of? Higgins. Let's say you go after That's a great question. Garrett Wilson. Higgins and something for Garrett Wilson. And I like Pitts' talent, but I don't know that it's going to change from this year to next year even. You know what I'm saying, bro? So maybe you go Pitts and Higgins for Garrett Wilson and something, or even just Garrett Wilson. That would be an amazing target. I love that idea. Javonte's interesting to go after using Higgins, but if you want to go wide receiver, Ridley's older. I would take a stab at him for 2 more years. Debo's a little concern, I think, for people, but Garrett Wilson, DJ Moore, and Flowers would be my phenomenal. What's up, Niner Rick?
Hey, this guy Niner Matt can't be taking my name like that. I'm the only Niner Rick in the house, baby.
Well, he's not Niner Rick. He's Niner Matt. How's he taking your name? You're the. But you just said I'm the only Niner Rick. You are. He's not Niner Rick.
You can't put the Niner in front of the name.
Why?
I'm the OG with that.
You can't. But it's not the same. It's not the same, bro.
How about San Francisco Matt or something?
Whatever. Go ahead. What can I do for you? Good God, bro.
Calling in, man. I just love watching the show. Just calling in to spread some love.
Thank you.
And just that's pretty much it, man. Just want to call and bless everybody. Hope everybody wins tomorrow, unless you're playing against me.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing good. Underdog, promo code Smitty.
You want everybody to win, but Niner Matt.
Exactly. San Francisco Matt. San Francisco Matt.
I'm the only Niner Rick. Garrett Wilson or Romeo Dobbs? What are we doing there, Niner Rick? Garrett Wilson, Romeo Dobbs. Talk to him.
I'm still going Garrett Wilson with that one.
Dobbs is safer. Garrett Wilson's higher risk, higher reward. I hate to give you a double talk answer, but like there's sometimes your matchup that needs to be considered, and you just say to yourself, what do you need? Do you need a big swing? You go Garrett Wilson. You need steady Eddie. Go Dobbs. Dobbs is safe, but Garrett Wilson, the Garrett Wilson, I don't even have time to do a video because tonight's Saturday night, but like maybe I kick off tomorrow's Start Bench show just saying I'm not necessarily saying start Garrett Wilson today, guys, is what my video might start off as, but to just basically say, if you've got to sacrifice trading for him and having him do mediocre this week to get him on your roster, go trade for him. Like I so don't understand the Garrett Wilson hatred right now. The guy, after Aaron Rodgers went down, the guy went out and scored a touchdown, and he made a remarkable catch. But for some reason, everybody just keeps blaming different things. Like, hey, that throw was bad though. He won't ever see that. The guy had with a carousel quarterback of garbage last year. He had over 1,000 yards as a rookie. He's a phenomenal player, and it's ridiculous.
And if anything, he's just going to get peppered with targets.
Trade Swift and Charbonnet for AJ. Swift and Charbonnet for AJ Brown. Honestly, that could be one we regret not pulling the trigger on because Swift could get hurt, and then we're like, why don't we go get an AJ Brown? But the thing is, AJ Brown's got those knees. They worry me, and Devontae Smith is taking over. And I'm not saying they won't rotate. I think they will. And AJ Brown could go out and have 180 yards and 2 touchdowns this coming week 3, and everybody go, oh, never mind. But like, I don't know on that one. I think I'd probably just say like AJ Brown is the safe move, Spencer. But like, you like dice rolling, bro. If you want to wheelbarrow your nads right into Sunday morning and just sit on the couch with the wheelbarrow, that's Swift. It just depends on if you're a dice rolling mofo. There's pros and cons to that trade. Again, some of these questions don't necessarily have answers because there's a whole lot. There can only be one Niner, says Freddie. Justin with a super chat with no question, but I appreciate the message. I think this might be his question right here. Do you start Daniel Jones or Jordan Love, Smitty? Well, if you know me or my content, you know that I'm starting Jordan Love, and I've been promoting that man from the beginning of the offseason. All right, Niner Rick, I got to let you go. Is there anything else you want to say?
Drop a like button if you haven't. Promo code Smitty for Underdog.
That's it.
That's about it, man. Good
knows.
luck. I'll be with you in the morning.
All right, later.
Later.
Eva with the super chat, thank you so much. I made the mistake many did and bench Swift this week. Who should I start instead? Tyler Algier or Zay Jones? Go Algier and go for a big swing. But they're both good plays. But yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry you put him on the bench. And it sucks to see some of the options. Like if those options were to come in here and we talked about it, we would have definitely said Swift is better than some of those plays. But, go for the swing. Kadarius Toney or Romeo Dobbs. I go Dobbs. Dobbs is safer, but Toney is a fun play for those that have the ability to play him or the necessity to play him, because not everybody's got these glorious options. So choose wisely, but know that there are spots where I actually don't mind playing Kadarius Toney. There's this Kadarius Toney high or low right here. Let me see if I can find it. I think it's here somewhere. Let me pull it up. Kadarius Toney. Yeah, here it is right here. This is really good on Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. If you guys want to do the higher lows, Underdog will match up to $100 on your first deposit. They'll double your first deposit up to $100. Play Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. And honestly, this is one of my favorite higher lows this week. Kadarius Toney, 32.5 total yards. And this one was at 28.5 for receiving yards. And just like a 4-yard difference, you could get both the rushing and receiving. The reason I love this, and this is one of my favorite plays this week, is because, first of all, it's 32 yards, guys. He could get this on one catch, And they haven't necessarily thrown him in the doghouse yet. So 32.5 higher seems like a slam dunk. And when you really think about it, whether you like him or not, there's a really strong chance they try to hand the ball off to this guy a couple times in this game, which is why I shifted over from the 28 receiving yards higher to the total yards, which was only a 4-yard difference, because this guy might get a couple end arounds just to get him confident, like get the football in his hands so he doesn't have to catch it. And I think they maybe do that in this game. I think they maybe try and spice up the offense by saying, you know what, we're not scared of him. We're going to hand the ball to him, and he might get half of the yards on a run. So this feels like a smash to me on the higher. Underdog Fantasy, again, promo code Smitty. The link's in the description. The link is pinned. Well, I'm going to pin it in the live chat right this very second. Underdog Fantasy, promo code Schmitty. Let me see if I can pin this. All right, it's been pinned in the live chat right now. A couple other higher lows that I love this week, by the way, guys. I mean, that I absolutely love this week are as follows. Let me see if I can get those bad boys on screen here. This Pacheco one's pretty smooth. Pacheco, 65.5 total yards. I'm smashing the higher on that one all day long. Ridley, 73.5 receiving yards. And I know that there's potential weather implications, people. But, we'll play that by ear. But if there's no wind, I don't care. 262.5 passing yards. If the Law Dog's down, we're looking at a big throw fest for T-Law. And then we've got, what do we got? Another one in here somewhere. Kelsey. Higher on Kelsey. Again, link is pinned, guys. Higher on Kelsey, 0.5 rushing, receiving touchdowns. I love that they throw the rushing in there, too. Just in case. Just in case. Higher. Smash that. I mean, it's his comeback game. You don't think he's going to get in the end zone? That's crazy. So these are all fantastic, in my opinion. Very, 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 very good plays. And they're all coming from one game, which is nice. Of course, weather could take them all out. Know that and monitor the weather. We'll be here in the morning talking about it. Dotson or Pickens? I'm going to go Dotson, but a very, 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 very tough call. And both of them could struggle for one more week. But Pickens, I think is going to be great. Dotson's going to be great on the year. I have a feeling a lot of Panic Peters will be coming out of the woodwork, dropping both of these potential late bloomers, later than we wanted them to bloom players. And I still think they hit their hires on the year for the season stats that we laughed at so hardcore in the offseason when they were like 700 or 800 yards. I still think they crushed those numbers. People are already DMing me saying, I guess that higher 780 yards isn't looking so... Look, give me a break. You know, what's 800 yards? I think it was like 800 yards for both of them. 800 yards divided by 17 games, people, is 47 yards a game. Okay? And in the case of the 680 yards, or was it 580? 580 yards for Jahmyr Gibbs divided by 17 is 34 yards a game. Jahmyr Gibbs had 42, 43. He's already over with his probably worst game of the year, Jahmyr Gibbs, already pacing over that 580-yard higher on Underdog Fantasy for the year. Why would you start Pat Freiermuth or would you start Pat Freiermuth or Laporta? I go Laporta. I just feel safer with that, especially with the Pittsburgh-Cleveland game. I mean, that could be a spotlight game. Maybe Muth gets in the end zone. Maybe Muth is safer. Let me rephrase that and say Muth is safer, but I just like Laporta. And JSN or Dotson. Would you pick up JSN or Dotson from the waiver wire? Small benches. Thank you for all your hard work. Thank you. Appreciate your super chat. I would say give me JSN if we're thinking long term. I like both of them. I know you're saying small benches, so you can't really pick up both. I get it. I just think JSN is going to be a league winner. 0.5 PPR, flex 2, Javonte Dotson, Elijah Moore, or Cooper out. Yeah, Cooper's out. So flex 2. I'm going to go Javonte and Dotson. If you want to go, go Javonte. 0.5 PPR. It made me think for a moment, but 0.5 PPR, I'd probably go Javonte. But Javonte and Elijah Moore are very close. Trust your gut on that one. I got offered Gibbs for Bijan straight up. What do I think? You got offered Gibbs for Bijan straight up. Well, Bijan's my running back 1, Panther. My running back 1. I love Gibbs, but Bijan's my running back 1. So we're not doing this one. We're not doing this one, Panther. This is a no. This is a stand down order, Panther.
Alert. Stand down order in effect.
Stand down, Panther. I know you heard my monologue about Jahmyr Gibbs, but goodness gracious, bro. I guess I should have thrown a disclaimer out that I was not giving up on Bijan Robinson after he had a remarkable first game. Who should I target with A.J. Brown, Madison? Thank you for the super chat, Panther. A.J. Brown, Madison, Pitts package. Who should you target? St. Brown. Diggs. I mean, obviously the guys above. Jamar Chase comes to mind because his owner is a tiny bit panicked on him. But the problem is A.J. Brown didn't do well. So I don't think you're getting what you want. Madison shiatted the bed, and I told you not to draft him, Niner Rick. And A.J. Brown, I didn't say not to draft. I like A.J. Brown. But, you know, warned you all offseason there's potential, concerns that maybe he's not going to necessarily take over and run away with the number 1 wide receiver spot, not to mention the concerns of injury on top of Devontae Smith being there and the rotation that could occur. And this is why A.J. Brown all offseason long for me wasn't a first rounder. He was a borderline first rounder, top of round 2 guy. And Pitts has done garbage. You basically have nobody doing well right now, and you're trying to get a St. Brown. Probably not going to happen. Wide receivers that are even possible with this package, you're probably better off going across position, bro. You try for Jamar Chase, probably don't get it done. You try for Ridley. Overpay for Ridley and get some security up in this mug. That's the only thing I can really tell you. Doran, subscribing to the channel. Thank you, Doran. Appreciate you guys. You guys, we've had over 25 people subscribe to this channel while we've been live. We have 701 of you marvelous people in here. And can I ask you a question? I went live a little bit later tonight but we were made off of the graveyard shift. I went live about 1 a.m. Eastern for about 2.5 years straight. And then we started to dial it back a little earlier. And I think it's good. We dip into the later evening anyway, but are we really better in the wee hours? I mean, because no one else live streams this late. Like, we take over the graveyard territory. Is this too late for you guys? Like, do you guys prefer me live earlier, or is this the slot you want me live in as we dig into the wee hours of the night? I'm just curious what the general consensus here. I mean, you guys are here, so I imagine you're going to say you love this, but are people saying, God, I'm staying up for this, and I really wish it was earlier? I'm just kind of curious if that's going to be the tone and what you guys think. Let me get some of your comments on here. People forget there are Thursday games. Graveyard shift. Ada, I appreciate you. Ada's got thick skin too. I like that Ada's not like offended by earlier. Not at all, Doran. This is perfect. I'm Eastern Tampa, brother. I appreciate it. You're Eastern. That's what I'm saying. It's 4 a.m. That's what I'm asking. I work third shift, so this works for me. This is great slot. I mean, you guys are all here. Wife is asleep. Let's go. I mean, so far, nobody, like, we have 700 people in here, and going live this late, sometimes worried me, which is why I moved my stream forward. I'm not saying I can't do earlier as well, just go live an hour earlier and just dip straight in here and do 3 or 4 hour show, but sometimes I can only go 3 or 4 hours, and I'm just wondering if we moved it. This is the best. We all get the most updated info. Thank you, Mel. Appreciate you. All right, let's do phone calls after the super chat here. Hold on. We got a couple supers. Shoddy says start Brees or Javonte, Andrews or Higbee. I go Andrews, and I probably go Javonte for safety, but Brees if you need a big swing, bro. Just keep in mind this man Brees Hall can rip off one at any moment. Let's move it back 2 hours. In fact, says Ada. Watson, Pollard, Javonte, Akers. Thank you for the $10 hauler.
To the moon.
Brandon to the moon. Marquez, Pollard for Ayuk and Skywalker. I take Ayuk and Skywalker probably. That's a good one though. Watson, Pollard, Javonte, Akers, Zach Charbonnet. Lost Dobbins. Want to replace him. Who should I trade for with who? Can't get Gibbs. I tried. I don't know. This is a loaded question. I'd say Keenan Allen. Akers is trash. Told you not to draft him. Ridley and Jefferson and Pollard are phenomenal. You got a trio that's amazing. If I'm you, I'm just trying to upgrade Watson. Watson and Keenan Allen. Elijah Moore popping off this week might help you. Told you not to get Dobbins. You wait on Javonte because you can't get enough for him. You hold Charbonnet. Try and get Walker maybe for something later. But you kind of need these guys to go nuts. I mean, Pittman and Watson for a Fields. Keenan Allen and Watson for a Fields. That's what I'm trying to do with this team. I'd probably rather you, even Akers, throw in Akers. And I don't care that you're light at running back. You got Roschon. I'm more worried about you getting a QB upgrade that is going to be here for you for a very short period of time. Maybe one of these top 5 quarterbacks struggles again this week, and you still have an opportunity. I venture to say one of Burrow or Fields still could. And then we have a buy low season again for one more week. Dotson, Javonte, Puka, or Elijah Moore. I probably go Javonte safe. Dotson's a little higher risk. Or I'm sorry, Dotson's a little safer. Javonte's a little higher risk than Dotson. They both have their risk. Matchup, workload, etc. But Dotson feels safer of those guys. So I'd probably say Dotson. Marquez, thank you for your super chat again. Brandon, thank you for your super chat. Upgrade that quarterback, and you are going to the moon, my friend. Straight to the moon. Cam, thank you again, Cam, for your super chat. Appreciate you. Demetrios, Baltimore defense versus Cincy, or pick up Denver, Washington, Pittsburgh on waivers. Denver, Washington, Pittsburgh. Denver's good against Washington. Pittsburgh is thought to be an okay play, but they crap the bed. Baltimore is a okay play, but I'm banking on Burrow just burying him in this game. So I'm going to say Denver is probably a top 5 to 8 start this week. Demetrius, I think. Anthony, $5 hauler, 12-team PPR fields, CMC, Justice Hill, AJ Brown, Ridley, Andrews, Ayuk, benches Zay, Addison. Trade Ridley plus Andrews for Bijan, Goddard, Pittman. God, I hate you trading Ridley. Can you get rid of AJ Brown instead? Like AJ Brown and Andrews for Bijan alone, and just go pick up a tight end, and that way you're not like, because what you're doing here is he's getting you to give up more because he's including this like baggage of Goddard, Pittman, and have him keep Pittman then. Maybe Bijan and Goddard, and you swap out Ridley for AJ Brown. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't want Bijan, and I'm not saying this can't work out, but I just think that there's a better way to make this trade. Ridley's so good, and Andrews still could be. I'm worried enough to trade him, but hit that subscribe button, guys. We've literally gained like 25 subscribers during the show, and it's amazing. It helps the channel. Hit that thumb up button as well. 700 people in here, and only 329 of you have punched that thumb up button. All it does is just a millisecond, and it helps the channel so much. The bigger we get, the longer the streams. The bigger we get, the more I upgrade things. I mean, built this studio 2.5 years ago because you guys helped me do it. You guys helped this channel grow to where it is. We're at 22,411K because of you guys. But it does take us collectively to be punching that thumb up button and subscribing. So many of people don't subscribe, and they just pull up the channel, just type it in every day. It helps so much if you hit subscribe, and I appreciate you. Let's open up the phone lines here. I think I'm caught up on the super chats. The phone line is sponsored by, I'll show you in 1 second, by our boy Red. And if anybody wants to knock Red off as the presented by phone call specialist, here you go.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Replace this super chatter by beating their super chat for the highest super chat of the month. August is Texas Red with a $299 hauler. The phone line is Texas Red. Thank you for calling into the Texas Red phone line. Okay. Dial in. Let's go. 30-second phone calls only. You know how we do it. Bro, fist, Brad, bro. Fist, Brad, calling. Okay, Travis is calling in. Travis, appreciate you, my man, my moderator pal. What can I do for you, Travis?
So right now I'm gonna have to drop someone for a defense possibly. If I know you had mentioned to someone before about possibly waiting it out with a kicker and seeing if they need it or not. Because right now for defense it would probably be the Giants at 4 o'clock or Washington at 4 o'clock. That's about
I'm sorry. Say it again, Travis.
So basically, I have to drop someone to get a defense in.
Yeah.
Would you drop A-Chain, Kyron Williams, or Romeo Doubs? That's about all I have.
Probably Kyron. I dropped Kyron. Yeah. Yeah. Probably Kyron.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Travis.
I was just going to ask you one more for a flex. Do you like Drake London, Nico Collins, or Elijah Moore?
Probably Elijah Moore for safety. Drake London for a little bit higher risk, higher reward swing.
Okay. Okay, cool.
All right, thanks, Travis.
Thanks, buddy.
My mod, my one of my main mods in the building. Let's go. Appreciate you later. This question here, or this comment here from TD. Thanks for not answering my question. I don't know what that's regarding, TD, but it doesn't sound like you're happy. I don't know if you're referring to me. I mean, we have 3,000 comments that have come through this. Right now, we're at 3,000 comments in 2 hours and 9 minutes. I am not a magician, TD. I'm not a magician, bro. All right, let's go to Mark from Irvine. You've got 30 seconds. I don't care if you're in mid-sentence. You're getting hung up on at 30 seconds. Go.
Sit one, Smitty. Full PPR. A.J. Dillon, Brian Robinson, Treylon Burks.
Burks. What's Burks done?
Who would be your next one that you would sit?
Well, you only said one, so I already left. That already left my mind. Read them again. 8 seconds.
A.J. Dillon, Brian Robinson. Which one you sitting?
A.J. Dillon, Brian Robinson.
Thank you, Smitty. Thank you.
Later. Yeah, I mean, look, Brian Robinson had like 19 carries, I think, last week, but I don't know. You know, I just feel like, it's a semi-tough matchup for him. Well, game script is going to be a problem, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think Denver. I don't know. Maybe Washington hangs in that game. I do love my boy Sam Howell. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what's going on with that running attack. I don't trust it. I don't trust it at all. What did TD say? What did TD say? This one here from Trey. Hold on 1 second, callers. 1 second. Let me answer these super chats real quick. Sick Nasty, how much better is Dallas D over Buffalo D? A whole lot. I mean, Buffalo's a good D. Like on paper, like there's some good, there's some good arguable points for probably both sides. But Dallas scored like 40 points in a lot of formats. Dallas is an absolute nightmare. So from a fantasy perspective, it's not really all that close. Trey with his super chat, how's my team? Full PPR 10-man league. Lawrence, Pollard, ETN, Kenneth Walker, Javonte, Lamb, Garrett Wilson, Amari Cooper, Kelsey, Mike Williams. It's really good. You know, can you package like Amari Cooper in somebody later when he gets healthy? Maybe you should have traded him already. He was my avoid, my sell high, get rid of him. I like Amari Cooper, Smitty. Why don't you like Cooper? Well, this is why. This is one of the many reasons he's been a disappointment maker for so many years. Mike Williams and Cooper together. I don't know that you're going to be able to trade anything yet. You got to wait. But this team, you don't need to even do anything. It's a really, really good squad. And don't give up on Garrett Wilson. Trey, don't come in here next week and say, should I bench Garrett Wilson? He did bad, against the Cowboys. We expect it to be kind of maybe a less effective game for him. Texted you free agents to play over Moss Puka when you can. Sherman, I will get to it. I definitely will get to it. I don't know if you cut it close though on a follow-up or something. You might not hear from me in time in the morning, so I'll check it tonight though. I usually check it tonight and clear it out. Okay, so let's go on over to Chris from Vegas. Chris, you are live. You got 30 seconds.
Hey, Smitty, quick question. I'm trying to package together Godwin and Pitts and upgrade running back or receiver position. Would Jonathan Taylor be a good option for that, or what would you suggest?
Yeah. Pitts and who?
Godwin.
I would trade that for Jonathan Taylor. I'd trade that for Kamara and Jonathan Taylor. Two of my favorite go-get players. Yeah.
I got Kamara, but I was going to push for Jonathan Taylor, so that's what I was doing.
Absolutely, bro. Even Kupp is interesting for like something like that if you're not using those players,
Okay.
All right, later, bro.
All right, sounds good.
All right, later.
Thank you.
Donnie Bravo, you are live. 30 seconds.
Hey, Smitty. Hope all is well. I'm trying to buy Flowers, and I'm trying to think of a trade offer. In my bench, I currently have London, Dotson, Bigsby, and Nakua. Who would you package together to buy Flowers?
London, Dotson, Bigsby, and Puka. I would try and trade Puka, but I don't know. I mean, it just depends on what kind of nonsense we're talking about in that league. Like, what's the Puka Nacua love looking like? I don't think you're going to pull that off 1-for-1, but you could certainly send that offer before kickoff and try and get it done. Would I give London up straight up for him? Probably. Would I give London and Puka for Zay Flowers? I might.
What about Dotson and Puka?
I probably would. I mean,
you would or you wouldn't?
I probably would. That's tough. I love Dotson though.
Yeah, I love Dotson too, and he does too. And I know that he wanted Puka because we were both trying to buy him. So I'm trying to see if
it feels like too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not ready to give up on. I'm not ready to give up on Dotson just yet. I'm gonna say no on that one. London, because the situation worries me way more. Try and give him London and Puka. Maybe he likes Puka enough that London makes sense for him. But keep Dotson.
Gotcha.
All right, later, bro.
Okay. Thank you, Smitty. Have a good one.
Yeah. All right, everybody stay muted real quick. Legend, trade Godwin for Flowers. Yes, in a millisecond. Start Debo or Godwin start Debo. That's easy. $10 hauler from my boy Pyro. And all these capitals, I don't even know. It just makes it hard to read. Can everybody mute real quick? Appreciate you. When I say mute, I actually mean everybody. I know everybody thinks they're special. Someone's like chomping away at a meal right now. We can hear it. It's like Diggs, DK, Dobbs, Shaheed, Flowers, Jacobs, Cook, Kelly, Kamara, Roshan, Andrews, Kincaid. Who should I aim for, and what should I package? I'd probably say I'm trading away Jacobs. And honestly, the best move for this team is what I tell a lot of people to do when they have Jacobs is to trade down. Because the players that are below Jacobs, I kind of quietly like better. Like, give me ETN and a Debo. Give me ETN and a player like Debo. Go anchor onto a player like Waddle and see what Pierce or running back you can get thrown in. Debo, Pierce, Walker, ETN, Breece Hall, Jacobs down to Jahmyr Gibbs. Some people think Jacobs is better than Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't know how in the hell that happens, but sometimes you can get Gibbs and a Christian Watson, those types of moves. And that's really what I would do with this team. Andrews for a Debo and something is also something I'd look to do. Andrews for Gibbs. Give up Andrews and James Cook, or if that's Dalvin Cook, Kelly and Andrews for Gibbs. Those would be a handful of things I would look to do. Barkley for CD and Charbonnet. Depends if you need an RB, bro. If you need an RB, the Barkley side's okay. If you need a receiver, the CD side's okay. This is a very even trade. I don't think Charbonnet's moving the needle much in either direction. So those would be my thoughts there. Appreciate your super chat. Todd the Lobster is on. Why do we call you Todd the Lobster?
Lobster Todd.
I have Todd the Lobster. But why are we calling you Lobster Todd though? That's just your name?
That's a movie reference.
Maybe I changed it.
Movie reference.
I think I changed it to Todd the Lobster because it just had a better ring to it. I don't know. Go ahead, Todd. 30 seconds.
I have a strategy question. Is it okay to start a kicker that I have a receiver, and if I start the kicker that's on the same team, is that a bad move, or should I get a kicker from a completely different team that's not even my roster?
I don't think it would make me change out my kicker if I felt like my kicker was the best kicker for the week. Like, if you're downgrading your kicker, like, what if the kicker plays well and then the receiver doesn't, and then you're screwed double time? You know what I mean? So I don't know that I'm going to be moving that. I would start the highest scoring potential kicker.
It doesn't affect the receiver at all?
I mean, it can, there's no science behind it. It's not, it's not like the Jahmyr Gibbs science that we have. It's something that can it affect him? Sure. Can it not affect him? Sure. Like, there's no right or wrong answer to this. I mean, Sometimes when you have a receiver and he misses the touchdown grab and then they kick a field goal, you're like, well, I got 3 points.
Okay.
You know, it can be fine. Sometimes your receiver
All
catches a
right.
touchdown and then your kicker kicks an extra point. You get 8 points.
Yeah.
All right, later, bro.
All right. I just wanted to make sure I didn't. All right, thank you.
Yeah, you're not taking a lap over at Lobster. All right, later.
Thanks.
All right. We got Pittman or Garrett Wilson. Honestly, rest of season, this is what I'm talking about, guys. Jam, I appreciate your $2 hauler, and don't take this the wrong way, but this is just tough love here. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? Pittman or Garrett Wilson rest of season? I thought this was a week 2 question, so I was like, okay, I'll let this one go because Garrett Wilson's got a tough matchup. But literally, he loses his quarterback, and he goes from being a top 3 to 5 wide receiver to being Michael Pittman. Absolutely disrespectful, Jammo. I appreciate your super chat though, but we're taking a little baby lap on that one, and I appreciate you. Look at it as a workout. Oh my god! I wish I could get Garrett Wilson that cheap. I'm gonna try in my leagues. I feel like maybe I'm not sending enough offers. Smitty, start Herbert or Burrow. I'm starting Joshua Kelly. I'm gonna go Burrow. Kelly's not swaying me into starting a quarterback I think might score less or amount of points or something like that. Anthony, you got 30 seconds. Go.
Yeah, I was wondering if you had kind of experienced RBs being a little bit overvalued compared to previous years, especially like middle round, like good RBs, like that ETN Kenneth Walker tier. So I lost Dobbins week 1, obviously. So I'm kind of looking for an RB2, and I have a lot of wide receiver value. I have like Ayuk, Addison, Flowers, but I can't even break into this tier. You know, I'm stuck with waiver wire options, or like if I wanted to sell one of these guys for what I think is like a loss. I feel like more so than any other year so far, it's been these guys, you know, Pierce dropping 6 points, Walker dropping like 10. You can't even trade him like a rookie who's dropping over 15 in 2 starts. It's strange to me. I don't know. Do you have like any opinions on that?
Well, as far as like running backs to get, I would say Dameon Pierce is very undervalued. You just got to look. I mean, look, 1 week has gone by, bro. We can't draw many conclusions at all. You know, and the running backs that are undervalued right now, Javonte, he's going to rise. Breece Hall, he's going to rise. Jahmyr Gibbs, he's going to rise. Those are bigger names, but Javonte's pretty easy to get. Walker is going to rise. His owners are probably a little worried because the stat sheet didn't look good. But if you watch the game, his usage or his on-field presence, he practically took every snap. You know, so he looks great in that aspect, and I think they're going to run to him. Madison looks like garbage. Connor's garbage. Pacheco, very good buy low. Dameon Pierce, very good buy low. Those are deeper guys. DeAndre Swift was a slam dunk buy low last week. And look at how the tables turned for him. So I don't think there's any conclusions that can be drawn for running backs in general, bro, to be honest with you. I think Roshan's going to rise up. I just think a lot of people are overreacting off of 1 week. People are talking like as if, you know, 8 weeks have been played. You know, we got like this big average of everything to look at. Like, what do you think the drop-off on running backs can be attributed to? It's like we've seen 1 week of football. And on top of that, so many other players busted, not just RBs. Like, look at every single quarterback was trashed this week that was supposed to be a top 5 quarterback. Or, you know, obviously Hurts did good this week because he's already played, but, you know, Hurts, Burrow, Fields, Josh Allen, like trash. So it's buy low season, baby. It's buy low season. Those RBs are ones that target. And did I not answer your question? What was the other question in there?
I guess, like, I'm just saying, like, so, like, a player like Pacheco, I mean, compared to, like, some waiver wire option like Zach Moss or Joshua Kelly or whoever, like, are we really expecting, you know, them to be scoring, you know, 10 more points than those guys? I mean, I feel like most weeks they might be Kelly, some waiver wire option, top waiver wire, might be getting like 6-7 points, and then these
Yeah,
guys are
no.
getting 12 points.
Bro,
It's like, what's the point of trading for them?
Haven't you heard you don't trade for him. Haven't you heard my monologue or my rant tonight was that Puka Nacua is a glorified wide receiver 3. And could he do very well for a short window of time? Yeah, but Cooper Kupp might be back week 5, 6, 7. Maybe he gets hurt again or whatever, but Puka Nacua is a flavor of the week that might be pretty tasty to some of the people out there that are just trying to get their mitts on something that can help them now. I think a lot of people are living vicariously through this Puka Nacua pipe dream because they didn't have the draft they wanted, and this is the fixer. This is the thing that can save their season. Puka Nacua is the next Cooper Kupp. It's ridiculous. And Joshua Kelly, he's pretty good. You know, and Kellen Moore runs 2 running backs. He did with Zeke and Pollard in Dallas, so there's a thought that Kelly could be good all year. But for the most part, bro, I'm not advising anybody to go trade for those guys. Go give me Pacheco. Go give me... You didn't hear me say those guys when I said trade for these lower guys, so I'm in agreement with you. I have no interest in that. I want Roshan and Khalil Herbert over Kelly. I would take Roshan and Khalil Herbert over Puka Nacua, Joshua Kelly, bro. Both of them. Like, you gave me both those guys, I'd say no. I'll keep a Roshan and Khalil Herbert together versus you giving me Puka and Joshua Kelly. Now, maybe this week Kelly goes nuts, but this is a 1 week situation where Eckler's out. Maybe Eckler's out 2 weeks. It could be a 2 week situation, but this is an oversaturated waiver wire value. You're right. And I don't know who's out there saying that, but it's not me. It's not me. All right. I appreciate you, Anthony. Thank you for calling in. You can call in again if you want to cycle through. Draven from Kentucky, you've got 30. Actually, hold on, Draven. Waller, Pierce, Wilson versus St. Brown, Freiermuth. Waller, Pierce, Wilson versus St. Brown, Freiermuth, Pacheco. Give me St. Brown, Freiermuth, Pacheco over Waller, Pierce, Garrett Wilson. But it's super close. And really that comes down to, like, if Pierce balls out, then it could be potentially something that swings in the Pierce side. I mean, I like Garrett Wilson a lot, but St. Brown is a big difference maker. Who do I start in my flex 10.5 PPR? Kelly, Javonte, Monty. You have Gibbs, Dotson, London. It's probably going to be Monty for safety, Joshua Kelly for higher upside with a little bit bigger chance of risk because there's some unknown about what's going to really happen. Reason I say that is a lot of times we think we know something's going to go nuts, go crazy, and it doesn't end up happening. We're like, this is going to be the week that this guy, and then it doesn't unfold like we think. Meaning that Kellen Moore uses 2 RBs, right? Just because Eckler went down, does it come down to 1 RB now, or does he use 2 RBs? And you're like, why is Kelly not getting all the work? We don't know. So Monty's more secure. And if you need a bigger swing, but you're okay with the risk, you could go the other way. Start Garrett Wilson, Puka, or McLaurin. McLaurin's your safest play. Garrett Wilson's a little higher risk, higher reward. So swing for the fences, go Garrett Wilson. Steady Eddie, you're projected to win your week anyway. McLaurin's safer. On my bench, I have Elijah, Nico, Mostert, and Dalvin. Do I drop one to get Roshan or wait? Definitely go get Roshan. I would probably drop Nico because I'd rather just kind of hold the running back, I suppose, bro. Dopey just traded away Tua for Justin Fields. This could go either way. I want to be very, very respectful of Tua's value right now. But I would take Fields. I still stand by everything that I said about Fields in the offseason. I can at least respect people liking Tua more. It makes sense if you do. But I am not writing Fields off after 1 week of football when Burrow did bad, when Josh Allen did bad, when Hurts did bad in week 1, when Mahomes even kind of did halfway bad. Every top 5 quarterback did bad, and we're just going to act like Fields is the only one that can't recover. Just got JT for Puka and Williams. This is what I'm talking about. That owner needs to take a lap. Unbelievable move. I don't even know which Williams you're talking about, Trey, because you didn't clarify, but I don't care because every Williams you could insert into that, and it would make a lot of sense, and you absolutely got him.
Got him.
Unbelievable. This Puka Nakua. It's like people think he's like the second coming of Cooper Kupp. Niner Rick, you got 30 seconds.
Okay. All right. Who should I start in the flex? Josh Kelly, Elijah Moore, or JSN?
Josh Kelly, Elijah Moore, or JSN? Kelly.
Okay, and then one more. Rest of the season, A.J. Brown or Devontae Adams?
A.J. Brown.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it's arguable because A.J. Brown is a concern injury-wise for me just because of his knees, and I just worry about something popping up. But Adams could get injured just as easily. He's older. He's got hospital ball-throwing Jimmy Garoppolo, tossing up and serving these hospital passes. And, ankle, I could just see it getting bad for him. And then wanting to sit out because they're losing. And I know everybody thinks the Raiders are going to the Super Bowl after week 1, but we'll see what happens when Jimmy's out of the lineup. I like O'Connell a lot. If O'Connell can stay healthy, maybe this team does win 9 games or something like that, but we'll have to see. I like Adams with O'Connell under center way more than I like this team with Jimmy Garoppolo. So we'll have to see. Niner Rick, thank you for the question. Did we go to Draven from Kentucky yet? Draven, I'm sorry, bro. You're next. 30 seconds, go.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, Jordan Addison for T. Higgins.
Jordan Addison for T. Higgins. I'm taking T. Higgins, and I'm running. I know everybody wants to get on this Jordan Addison train, and I don't blame you for liking him more. If you do, you're not taking a lap or anything. But for me, I'm going to take the guy that 1 week ago, or one fantasy week ago, he was, to some people, a borderline second, third, top of third round player. So is Addison a third rounder yet? I don't think so. I think he's really good, amazing wide receiver 3. Probably go forward. I do. I think, was I not high enough on Jordan Addison in the offseason? Probably. I can admit that. I'm a man. I'm a man. I can admit that. But do I think people are giving away players that belong, like Waddle, like Higgins? And I was never a Higgins as a round 2 guy. I'm not trying to condone that drafting behavior. But do I think Higgins is still a top of round 4, late round 3 guy? Yeah. And I don't think Addison's climbed him into my 4th round if I'm drafting today. Do I think he's a 5th round pick in ADP? Yes. I think people will take him. Would Addison be a guy I kind of hesitate to make my 5.1? Probably. Not because I hate him, because there are other players I just probably like more that are getting undervalued. All right, Draven, appreciate you. Thanks for calling in. Brian, you're live. 30 seconds.
Hey, this is Brian. How you doing, Smitty?
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Smitty, I got a question for you about my RB2. I have Pacheco in there right now, but I also have Kelly, so I'm just wondering if that's the best choice for tomorrow.
I mean, I think Kelly is the safest play, probably in for a big workload. Pacheco is a big swing, chance of miss, but chance of hitting a home run. Kelly's your play of the two. You got to go Kelly.
How about? Okay, sir. And how about for my my flex? I do have Puka, and then so I have Kelly as well. If I do go with Pacheco in my RB2. Would you flex Puka or Kelly?
Well, we already just decided you're starting Kelly, so I would go Pacheco. Not that it matters, but Pacheco as my flex. Kelly's already started.
As your flex. As your flex, okay.
Yeah, I mean I would because Puka's injured playing the Niners. I think that's a tough scenario. I mean, look at the Steelers last week.
Yeah, the only thing I'm thinking about with the Rams and Niners is though, the 49ers are probably going to shut their run game down, and the Rams are going to have to pass. So
I agree. I agree. But how well did the Steelers pull that off last week? And I understand what you're saying, and part of me in retrospect with me saying that the Eagle defense was going to shut down and destroy Cousins, which they did. But over the course of the game, and this is on me. Looking back, I should have known that the Eagle D would still been scored on it at the end of the day. They're a playmaking unit, and honestly, as well as they did shutting Cousins down at first, and they'd cause turnovers, they were making a hell of a night. It looked horrible. We had a lot of Cousins is cheek, Cousins is horrible, and then all of a sudden Cousins comes back and just has a remarkable game. And Flowers to Cousins, he did unbelievable. I don't know that this is the same type of defense. The Eagles are a high-scoring, amazing defense that gives up big plays. Not to the point where they're not a good defense, just that you can make up ground, you can throw from behind, lose the game, but still, fight back and try and win a game. The Niners are a little bit different. The Niners, I believe, that they can shut you down all game long. As long as Purdy's on the field, ball control. Got to think about it from that perspective too, bro. It's not like the Niners are just going to be throwing missiles and then kicking off. They're going to run the clock out, ball control, defense. Niners are going to do some good ball control work. And so how many opportunities will Puka get? You could be right. Could Puka have 11 receptions and 65 yards? Sure, it's possible, but give me Pacheco. I'd rather start Pacheco. All right, later. Appreciate you for calling in there.
Okay, I appreciate it. Hey, thanks for the advice, man. Have a good one.
Yeah, trust your gut ultimately, bro.
Okay, I appreciate it, man.
All right, rock out. Marsman rock out. I'm sorry, I just saw you there, Marsman rock out. What can I do for you, Marsman rock out?
Yeah, are we playing JSN or Pickens?
JSN for me, but that's a little bit of a dice roll that not everybody might partake in.
One more. Pacheco or Pierce?
Probably Pierce. Again, I like Pacheco, but he is a dice roll. Pierce is I think across the industry, Pierce is running back 15. I think Pacheco is probably in the early 20s. So the consensus data across the industry is ranking Pacheco 7 spots behind Pierce. So survey says go that route. But anything can happen, bro. So trust your gut ultimately.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, rock out. Anything else?
Are you cool with Moody over Dicker?
Moody over Dicker the kicker? Yeah, I could get behind that. No pun intended. All right, later, rock out. Appreciate you.
All right.
Dicker. You always got to be careful with the Dicker the kicker comments before or after you say anything about Dicker the kicker. Because it really... Pause? Can I pause that? All right. And then I got to go to the Redwood after this. What a follow-up. The Redwood, you're live.
Hey, how you doing, Smitty?
I've been better.
I hear you, man. So, my question is about my flex, pretty much. Right now, I have Joshua Kelly in there. My other options are Garrett Wilson, Miles Sanders, Harry McLaurin, DJ Moore. That's pretty much it.
Say it again, bro. I'm sorry. There's too many names getting thrown out. This is a 30-second question, but go ahead. Try one more time.
I have Joshua Kelly in the flex. I'm getting interrupted now, Smitty. Sorry.
All right. Come on. Tater Toddy, calm down. All right, go ahead. You got 30 more seconds. Go, bro.
All right, Kelly in the flex right now. My other options are Garrett Wilson, Miles Sanders, Terry McLaurin, or DJ Moore.
I'll probably go... Kelly's your safest option. DJ Moore is crafty, though. I want both those guys in my lineup, bro.
Yeah. Well, my receivers right now, Jefferson already played, and then I've got Keenan Allen, who I think he might get an uptick in volume based on Eckler being out as well.
Yeah. You got to trust your gut on this one. You got a question you're going to get wrong every single week. You're not picking this right. You're not picking this right. You're not going to pick it right. You're going to get it wrong.
Yeah. My only concern with Kelly is just the Titans' defense is pretty stout.
Yeah, but You know, he's going to get a lot of volume, passing work, you know. But that's why I say DJ Moore is crafty. You know, I really like DJ Moore this week. So if you have questions about it, and this is what I was saying earlier, that everybody's just expecting this Joshua Kelly's getting the Eckler treatment. But again, what if defensively it doesn't work out like people think? This is always one of those things that just craps the bed on people. Their thinking and their expectation of something feels like a lock, and then Kelly goes out there and has 40 yards, and everyone's going to be like, whoa.
Being that I have Allen in, is that kind of like insurance for one or the other?
Keenan Allen? I mean...
Like if they have to go to the passing game, at least I know he'll probably go up, and then vice versa.
I'm starting DJ Moore, bro.
Moore over Kelly?
I mean, I would, but that's me. I'm a wild man. You got to trust your gut. That's what I would do. I'm crazy.
And then real quick, Prescott or Richardson this week?
Probably gonna go Richardson, bro. I think Dak is like, God. I think Dak is. What is Dak ranked this week? I want to say Dak Prescott's like near the 17, 18, 19 overall rank across the industry, whereas Richardson's definitely like top 10-ish.
Yeah, I feel like the defense might be the star of the game for the Cowboys again.
I go Richardson, bro. He's got the ability to score.
The Houston defense, what do you think about them with the additions that they made?
I don't know.
With Stingley playing, they look pretty good to me. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
Yeah, but they're Houston, bro. I mean, there's still a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of points going to be scored and a lot of getting tired. And I mean, they're a good team. They're a good team. They're gonna scare some people, you know, at times. And we're gonna be like, how are they doing this? How are they doing this? I love D'Amico. I love what they're doing. It's just gonna take some time. Defenses get worn down and tired. They gotta move the football down the field. They gotta get Tank Dell involved.
Okay.
All right, bro. Appreciate you. Later. Redwood out.
Thanks.
Redwood out. Tater Toddy, you got 30 seconds.
Hello. All right. We'll make it quick. So I'm just curious who I start two flexes, and I'm curious who you would maybe think. I'm going between like Tyler Algier, Amari Cooper, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson.
Hold on a second. Here, hold on a second. You give me a freaking laundry list of players. I got to write it down. I can't retain that at 3 hours into a show.
Sorry.
Tater Toddy.
I was trying to make it quick.
Go ahead.
JSN, Pacheco, G. Willie, Breece Hall, Amari Cooper, and
he's out.
Tyler Algier.
Okay.
Oh, Cooper's out? Okay, yeah. So, yeah. Or Algier. Put two of those in my flex. Those was what
So how many do we need? How many do we need here, Tater Toddy?
Two. I don't really want to start the Jets players because of the Dallas game.
Well, trust your
Just
gut.
because of the Dallas, really.
I think this could be your crafty play. Pacheco, Algier. JSN's really solid. So, he's risky though. He's risky. He's very risky.
Pacheco and Algier in my flex, and just stay away from the Jets game, and because Cooper doesn't play until Monday, and I can just eliminate that from even being an option.
Trust your gut, bro. But yeah, those are probably the safest plays right there. I think Pacheco's going to have a good day. They used him pretty well. He looked good. It's just he ended up not getting as much work as we wanted at the end of that game. Like they started to use him. He started to look really, really good. I remember we started going, "Get on your horse." We were watching the game. We were getting excited. All right, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I wish I could figure out. Yeah, yep. All right, man. Have a good night.
Wish you could figure out what? Will you figure out what?
I just wish I could figure out how to get McKinnon in here, because I think with Kelsey coming back, I think it's going to open up the passing game for McKinnon, and I think he's going to have an explosive game, like personally. But
all right, bro.
I'd have to drop like Tutu Atwell to get him. I don't know if that's worth it. But.
Yeah, and someone was saying with Smitty really go Pacheco over Breece. I mean, I've said this over and over. Like, if he said he wanted to stay away from the Jets game, so I'm trying not to talk him into that. But what I've been saying all night is that he's your high risk, high reward play, but he's got tons of upside, and Pacheco is a little bit safer. So I've told people all night long that I would have a tough time sitting Hall, but his gut's telling him to stay away from the Jets game. I'm not going to try and convince him to go against his gut. So if you want to know, that's why I'm not pushing that. But for everybody listening, I'd have a really tough time sitting Hall in a lot of scenarios that some of you guys won't. But, I'm a little crazy, so I'm trying not to push off that risk on everybody.
His knee's kind of part of it also.
Well, what about his knee, though?
Not that I'm worried about it, but
what about his knee?
Not like 100%,
what is he showing you that you should be worried about his knee? Nothing.
Well, yeah, exactly. Just limited practices, which is normal.
I think the only concern is, and if I'm being honest, is to say, okay, the matchup is tough, and as a caller pointed out earlier, or a chatter, if they get down, what are they going to do? Throw Breece Hall in there in the third and fourth quarter, or at least the fourth quarter? They could take Hall out. So I don't know. Maybe at the end of the day. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. At the end of the day, I don't even know what I'm going to do until kickoff. I probably put my finger over the button and I say, Hall, Pacheco, Hall, Pacheco.
Right?
And then I'm just like...
switching them and then get screwed when the timer starts. Like, well, I guess we're going that.
Honestly, I might hit Pacheco. I might hit Pacheco at the end of the day because. All right, hey, I gotta go. Appreciate you later. You got. I gotta go, Tater Toddy. I gotta go. I'm sorry. Carrie, you're live. 30 seconds. Go.
Hey, Smitty. Okay, so Christian Watson and Amari are down. My options are Sky, Bateman, Reynolds, or Tank Dell. I know it's tough.
I'm speechless, bro. Tank Dell. Tank Dell.
Tank Dell. Okay, real quick, Komet or Kincaid?
Komet safer, Kincaid's high risk, high reward. I wish some of these don't have a full answer, bro. Like, I'd be guessing. I'd be sitting there wavering all morning long and just pressing the button. If you need steady Eddie, Komet's probably safer. Kincaid might get you 4 points, but it could get you 20 points. You know what I mean? We just don't know when. I know Kincaid's going to get going. I just don't know if they're...
baby.
Like, how Swift did nothing in week 1. And then the Eagles staff, we thought, this is what we said before the game, right? That Sirianni and the staff was sitting there going, we're broken right now. We're broken. How do we try and figure out a way to get back on track? Well, what didn't we do last week? We didn't use Swift. We didn't run the ball well. Can we try to get Swift the football and turn the tables here? And they did. So part of me is thinking the same thing with like Pacheco, McKinnon, and Tony, whatever. And I'm also thinking the same thing here. It's just like...
I think I'm going to go Kincaid. I think I'm Kincaid.
I wonder if Buffalo's going, how do we get Josh Allen on track? He's forcing the football downfield to Diggs constantly, just trying to shove it into the smallest window. Sometimes there wasn't even a window. Like, honestly, I love Josh Allen, and I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league by far. He's top 5. I don't think Tua's better than him. I don't think everyone's crazy about just ranking Tua ahead of him already. But like a couple of those throws, I'm like, what in the hell was he thinking? Like, he just threw a football.
I'm a Dolphins fan. I hear you.
I mean, he's just throwing a football into there's no window. There's no window to even just throwing it up. Like, I feel like I would have thrown a better football than him in some of these scenarios. So, like, I do question it, but I think that maybe, just like we thought about the Eagles, this Buffalo Bill staff comes together and they say, what can we do to get Josh Allen on his horse? Let's spread the ball around properly. Let's get Kincaid out there. Hey, Josh, why don't we spread it around a little bit? Why are you throwing the football into this window over here that's this big with 4 defenders around it, trying to hope Diggs says, oh, he's over there somewhere. Let me just throw it. I don't know. All right, hey, appreciate you, Kerry. See you later, pal.
All right,
Isaac.
All right,
Yeah, Isaac, you're live. 30 seconds.
Number one, I can't believe you're up this late. Number two, I've been offered Jahmyr Gibbs and JSN for Bijan Robinson.
Well, I like JSN a lot, but he doesn't move the needle enough. I love Gibbs, of course, but Bijan is my number one running back.
Yeah. I feel like I'm not even going to play JSN, even though it's tempting. Like, I don't really need him.
I mean,
I feel like
you might play him later,
you know,
but it doesn't.
For a similar level. But Bijan's my number one too, bro.
All right, my man. Later. Appreciate you.
All right, bye.
All right, phone lines are open or not open anymore. Let me just get these out, and then I got to get out of here because I got to get up and we got to get up. Burglar, Fields, Adams, McCaffrey, Andrews, Roshan, Ayuk, DJ Moore, Dobbs. I really want Gibbs. What can I do? What else would you try? Ayuk and Andrews for Gibbs and something. Andrews and Dobbs for Gibbs and something. Akers and Andrews straight up for Gibbs. That's the only thing you could do. Adams for Gibbs and try and get something else. Like if you could get a Christian Watson back or, something even higher than that would be great. Imagine giving up Adams for Gibbs and Debo. You give up a Dobbs back. So you give up Dobbs and Adams, or you give up Akers and Adams, and you get like a Debo and Gibbs. Like, what does he got? You know what I mean? Like, just keep throwing that at him. Appreciate you. Forgot to add Puka in my lineup. We'll throw Puka in for free. Puka will get it done. People think Puka's Cup. People think Puka Nakua is Cup. So you throw in Cooper Kupp, a.k.a. Puka, with Andrews, and you get Gibbs. But I would try to use Adams. So Adams and Puka for Gibbs. Done deal. My bench is Jordan Love, Roshan, JSN, Dobbs, Watson, Charbonnet. Need to drop one for a defense. Always could look at that, if your league allows it. I don't know if your league does, where you can actually have a player play on your bench and you can cut them, pick up a player, and still use that player. So you could technically do that. If your league allows it, I did it last week. You literally take a bench player that's already played and you cut them and you pick up a player and you can start them. As long as you can still swap out. Like I kept an empty defensive spot. So anybody elevated up into my lineup or my bench could be started in that defensive spot because no one was locked in there. And you could wait and see if you even need a defense. You might win the matchup anyway. So just know your league though. But if I had to pick, I would say, I hate this question is what I would say. I mean, you kind of have to drop Charbonnet, but then you got to pick him right back up. So this is tough. Watson can't be moved to IR. Remember, he's out now. Maybe he can move to IR. If he can't, then I guess Charbonnet, but you better pick him right back up, bro, because he could win a league. Traded Waller, Flowers for Ingram. I would not have done that. Oh, DJ Moore. I'm sorry, there's more to it. I thought it was for Ingram. Traded Waller and Flowers for Ingram, DJ Moore. Yeah, you throw DJ Moore in there, and I do like that a lot. I mean, it's arguable because I love Flowers, but I would definitely take that DJ Moore side. So congrats on that. Starting Christian McCaffrey, Pollard at running back, and St. Brown. Olave at wide receiver. Who do I start at flex? Gibbs, Walker, DJ Moore, Stevenson. Gibbs for me. I mean, I don't want to say take a lap on that one because you got some good options there. You need to make a trade. I'd probably go Gibbs, but that's me. I'm crazy. I'm crazy, bro. What's the number to call in? Can you hype me up for Charbonnet? Can you hype me up for Charbonnet? So hard to hold right now in a shallow league, handcuffing K9. It depends on your options, bro. I mean, hype you up. I need to know your options. I can't say for certain like what you should be doing. Let me go back to the screen here. So Travis, did I get to Travis's question? Trade Love Pickens. I got a bug crawling up over here. Hold on. Damn it. I tried to grab a bug and he fell. I'll have to get him later. Son of a bee. Trade Love Pickens for Cup. Love and Pickens for Cup for JT. Love Pickens for Cup for JT. Which one? I'm taking Love and Pickens for JT. Maybe I do it for Cup. It depends if you can use Love or need to use him. But I would definitely take it for JT. That could be league winning. Absolutely, bro. Appreciate you. Phone lines are closed, guys. I'm sorry. I'm heading out here. TJ says Brees and Dameon Pierce, Pickens or MT PPR flex. Easy call. Give me Pierce, even over Brees right now. Hard to say that, but just this week, though. Just this week. That's it. And then back to Brees Hall. He will do a hell of a job the remaining part of the year. And I think I had Sick Nasty drop another super chat here. Sick Nasty, hold on a second, bro. How much better is Dallas over Buffalo? Already got that one. Okay. All right, guys. I think I got through all the super chats. I'll see you in the morning. We'll be live the whole, I think, hour leading into kickoff. Brandon with the final super chat. Brandon says, Watson, Allen for Pittman, or Watson, Allen, or Pittman for Burrow. Watson, Allen, or Pittman for Burrow. Or Fields. Allen? Like Josh Allen? Why would I give Josh Allen for... Like, that's... Allen and Burrow are really close. I would give up Watson and Pittman. That's probably Keenan Allen. You got to be more clear, Brandon. I mean, there's Allens all over the place. Give me... I assume it's Keenan Allen. Watson and Keenan Allen or Pittman. I give up all three for Burrow or Fields. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I could get Garrett Wilson too. Do I do Burrow? Could get Garrett Wilson too. Absolutely. Watson, Pittman, and Elijah Moore or Akers maybe. Both for Burrow and Garrett Wilson. Of course I'd do that. You do that, you're a wizard, Brendan. You're a wizard. An absolute straight wizard, bro. If you pull that off. Come back and tell us, please. And start to Pacheco, Dobbs, or Brees. As I said earlier, I'm going to waver on Pacheco, Brees until kickoff. But if you want safety, Brees is probably safer to sit this week over Pacheco. Dobbs is probably a pretty tough player to sit. So I'd say safety is Dobbs and Pacheco if you need it. That super was aimed at G. Willie, really. What was the super chat again? Sick Nasty, how much better is Dallas over Buffalo? Oh, I got you. Okay, so you were talking about Buffalo's D this week, and I imagine you were referencing in Buffalo's D Adams, maybe? So, like, Adams versus... Yeah, I mean, Adams probably has a better shot than Garrett Wilson. Plus, he's got... I mean, the crazy part is, like, Jimmy Garoppolo, I know everyone thinks he's, like, good, but... people are still ranking Adams really high. I don't understand why Garrett Wilson's fallen off everyone's love list. It's crazy to me. It's absolute asinine. Trey with the final super chat, W stream. Thank you. Appreciate you. See you all in the morning. Final hour into kickoff later. Live whenever news breaks. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. See you all tomorrow morning. But the continuum of the gigawatt component structure of Jahmyr Gibbs' workload divide has a megawatt offload that if you compartmentalize the component conjunction timekeeper and you flux capacitor out the continuum component megabolt, things just end up happening. And that's why Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 to 10 running back instead of top 6 to 10. This man, Jahmyr Gibbs, he looks better than Kamara looked coming out of college, more prepared to become Kamara. Schmitty, did you just say Gibbs was more prepared to become Kamara than Alvin Kamara was prepared to become Kamara?